Hey, it's Rush with Role Playing Public Radio. We're playing Delta Green for our Patreon backers. This is scenario is called Sweetness by let's see here, by Dennis Atwiller. This is on his Patreon. And let's see here. In this scenario, I'll just read the synopsis again really quickly. A package has been returned to each of you as agents. You are all agents of Delta Green. You have all experienced the supernatural, or you have are aware that something is amiss, so you have all agreed to help Delta Green combat this. As members of military and law enforcement agencies, you have access to this. So package has been returned to you. The envelope appears as though you have filled it out and sent to an obviously fake address. The handwriting is not yours. And you do not remember mailing it. Inside is a brochure for a real estate seminar at the Holiday Inn, Tampa, Florida, this coming Friday. Each is marked with a small hand-drawn green delta. On the last page is a 10-digit number written in the same ink. So you make arrangements to head to Tampa in time for the seminar. So I will just go left to right, from my left to right. For each player to introduce their character. First off, we have Jeff, who is playing.
I'll be playing Gordon Hamilton. He's an FBI senior special agent. His specialty is long-term undercover operations. He spent most of the last 2 decades dealing with American militia groups and various anti-government groups that may engage in armed violence.
Okay. And did you have any unusual experiences that brought you into Delta Green?
Nothing specific. He was tapped by the program owing to he picked up some knowledge of the occult from some of the groups that he associated with and some of the rituals and ceremonies that they engaged in. At some point, the program noticed him and decided that his profile fit someone who would be appropriate for these kinds of investigations.
All right, so this is going to be your first field operation.
Yeah.
So you walk into the Holiday Inn in Tampa, the Tampa Greenfield Holiday Inn, by the way. There's a large banner saying, "Welcome the Holiday Inn welcomes the Burke Torrance Real Estate Seminar." There are just dozens of real estate agents milling about. But then our next agent appears. Let's see here, and that is Kevin, who is. Let's see here. I cannot unmute you, but Kevin, you can unmute yourself. I think you can hear me. There we go.
Oh, sorry. I'm playing Special Agent Cornwell. I'm Cornwell. I'm a behavioral psychologist with the FBI.
All right. So you walk in as well. And then next up we have Sean.
I'm playing Karen Stillman, a CIA case officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, if Kevin or Sean, did either of you have experiences? When you make a character for Delta Green, you can choose whether you have experience with violence, hard experience, or captivity, or experience with the unnatural. So did either of you have any of those?
I had a hard experience very early on in my career with the FBI, wherein we were working with a criminal who had been apprehended but was still causing police officers to eat their own fingers and attempt to eat others' faces. Delta Green tapped me to cover up the incident.
Okay, wow. So Kevin's on board to prevent things like that from happening again. Sean, did Karen have any kind of experience like that?
She did. Karen had a hard experience. DG was pursuing an asset that she was running, and the asset disappeared. DG brought her in when they found him holed up in a hotel in London to try and talk him out. She's not sure what happened in there, but she came out. The asset came out. The asset got hit by a bus. DG brought her in.
All right. Those missing memory, that missing block of time eats away at her sometimes late at night. And then finally, we have Tim, who is playing.
I'm Sean Markham, Lieutenant Commander retired Currently, I'm a professor of history at the U.S. Naval Academy.
Okay. So you, did you have any experiences that led you into Delta Green?
Yeah, he was working. He didn't know he was working with the program at the time. He was only told to lead a team of techs in investigating some electronic signals in the South China Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And then his chief radio operator went nuts and tried to kill him and everyone else.
All right. And then after a few briefings later, he is brought into Delta Green, I assume. So all of you get there, and in short order, you are approached by a man in his late 40s, sandy blonde hair, metal glasses, nicotine-stained fingers. Those of you with who have trained alertness can easily tell he has a concealed pistol under his jacket, and has the feel and mannerisms of a law enforcement figure. You know, whether he's a cop or local, you're not sure. And he knows each of your names and sort of waves you over to a conference room, the Pine Room. And so all of you are curious, and I assume you're all going to follow him. So he brings you all inside the room, closes the door, and just says, "Call me John." There's a laptop on the table and connected to a projector. John begins. A friendly called in an incident after seeing a symbol that is known to have significant history or cult properties on a door, something graffitied on the door of a family here in Tampa that has been what police are describing as a hate crime. No one is dead or injured, but the symbol merits investigation. He shows a news story on a projector from a laptop, which is also available on YouTube, and which goes into details, which I'll explain. He hands out a single brief dossier on the family in question, the Bernier family. This symbol is serious enough to merit an investigation. I want you to find the origin of the mark, remove all vectors which might produce it. I believe the family is eager to resolve the issue. They, according to the initial reports, they simply think it's harassment. None of the officials or family understand any significance to the symbol, as far as I know. Those of you with law enforcement credentials could attempt to try to get into the investigation officially or unofficially. Perhaps as a federal hate crime, but that's up to you. Do you have any questions?
So I suppose we're not going to the seminar. I will regretfully crumple up my brochure.
You can contact me through the number that I've provided. If there's no other questions, well, if there are no questions, well, excuse me, I need to use the restroom. So
They provided us with a dossier on the family, like the address, etc.
So here is the news story, and let's see here. There is a family, the Bernier family, in Tampa, Florida, the city you're in right now. Apparently, the news story spun as a hate crime terrorizes family. The Mr. Bernier is African American. His wife is Caucasian. Someone has been terrorizing their house. There's a short blurb in the news indicating there was a small fire in the kitchen. Graffiti and other marks have been found on their house. No one has been injured so far. The mark is scratched onto the surface of the door, appears to be coated in blood, and you can clearly see an occult symbol, a strange symbol on it, which I can describe in more detail. So those of you who have computer science or electronics recognize the number on the brochure as a phone number. And after about 10 minutes of looking at this stuff over, you realize John has not returned from the bathroom. So the family is a normal family. Tim Bernier is a microchip designer for Altex Microelectronics. His wife, Evelyn, is a stay-at-home mother. She used to work for the Tampa Police Department as a dispatcher. The children are not hers biologically, but they are, Tim is their father. There are two children. Let's see here. A boy and a girl. The boy, Chad, is 16 years old, and Catherine is 10 years old. The daughter is deaf. And apparently the family communicates with her in American Sign Language. And so that's what the dossier has. You can do more research if you want, but
what was the wife's profession again?
She used to be a dispatcher for the Tampa Police, but she is now a stay-at-home mother.
Okay.
Tim apparently makes very good money as a microchip designer.
A lot of work. And the company was Altec or something like that?
Altex. Altex.
Okay. So look around at my fellow agents. Who wants to take what for learning more?
So there are multiple leads right now you could look into. Obviously the family, the symbol. Well, there's multiple members of the family, obviously.
Just looking over my skills to see if I could look into the symbol. Would we be able to like search things or?
The John left behind his laptop, which anyone with computer science can quickly check is basically brand new. It has only been used for this to pull up this particular web page, as far as you can tell. So you've got a brand new laptop, if you want. If you can use bureaucracy as kind of the general purpose research skill, if it's not a specialized topic, you can also, obviously, occult would be used for looking at the symbol. If someone has unnatural, they can. I don't know if any of you would even have unnatural at this point.
No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Nope.
Yeah. So there you go. So occult would give you some information, though, as you can just look things up on the phone. The family, you all have your own car rented, so you can split up. I assume you were all giving each other burner phone numbers that you are all carrying for this operation.
Yeah.
I'll make sure everyone has a way to contact me.
Could you please repeat Delta Green's exact specifications for this? They just want us to investigate the symbol, or
find the origin of the symbol and and remove all vectors which might produce this symbol.
Contain and eliminate.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So whatever made the symbol needs to be removed, or whoever. Assuming it, you have no idea.
Okay. I'd like to go talk to the father, see if he's noticed anything shady yet. Do we want to alert the family directly, or should we keep this low key?
Well, what's your approach going to be if you're going in as a private citizen?
Kevin is playing Cornwell, who is FBI.
Real estate agent. We're at the seminar. We go talk to we get some Dougs that make us look like the real thing, and we say, hello, we hear your house might be problematic for you, and we'd be interested in helping you relocate.
So the brazen capitalist approach.
Okay.
Yes.
Could work well.
So Karen's going to sort of lean across the table and look around at the three of you. How many of you are cops? Any of you?
Gordon will smile and put a couple fingers up.
Cornwell and Hamilton are FBI. Sean Markham is retired, and he was in the Navy. So, you quickly find that out. So,
yeah. Actually, why don't Cornwell, if you want to hang on, I could contact the bureau most of my work relates to hate groups anyway. I might be able to find a way to get slid into the investigation on the download.
Works.
At
Okay.
least gives us a cover for asking questions.
All right, so that would be bureaucracy. What's your bureaucracy at?
My bureaucracy is 40.
40? You call up and you make some inquiries, and you realize right now that, I mean, FBI does just that you don't have enough favors to call in to get, because it's such a minor crime. It would not look good for your unit stats to, you know, if there's not a body or at least a burned, you know, if there's a, you know, if the house had been burned down,
somebody's got to die or property's got to get damaged.
yeah,
Okay.
severe, well, the property has been damaged, but not very much.
Yeah, but we're not talking a door's worth here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
that was a failed skill check, by the way.
Yep. Real estate agents it is.
Of course, however, I will say, because of your knowledge of bureaucracy, you realize you can't do it officially. That doesn't mean you can't wave your badge around and just, like, they're not going to call up. They're just going to assume good faith on your behalf. Like, as long as the FBI doesn't hear back that you're going around starting an investigation on your own, the locals won't care. I mean, they'll just assume you're on the up and up because your badge will be legitimate. So you put yourself a little bit at risk to do that.
Trusting the naivete of an ex-dispatcher seems a little risky, but we could try it.
Oh, we just have to go gentle.
Maybe?
Well, you have human. If she's a victim, she would want their help. I mean, of course, obviously, if she's hiding something, she would definitely be suspicious. But yeah, it assumes you understand what her motives are.
Okay, so Cornwall, do you want to go and check out the family together?
Certainly. Sounds like a plan.
Right now it's about 10:30, 11 a.m., something like that. So, and it's a weekday. So the kids are going to be at school, the father's going to be at work, and the mother's going to be at home. So do you want to go right now and talk to her, or do you want to wait, or do you want to what? Yeah.
Why don't we talk to her first and see how that goes?
Okay.
Then we can
Are
make
we
it a
doing
fight.
the real estate angle?
No, I think we should go in. I think we should go in, flash the badges, and then go from there.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Karen, do you have any ideas what you want to do?
Yeah, I want to go take a drive through the neighborhood, and maybe find a local, like the public library or something, and start getting a feel for what it's like around here. You know, why did they? Is there a history of hate crime? Is there a history of weird stuff going on?
Sure.
I don't know if that's bureaucracy or what.
You could use bureaucracy if you wanted to. I'd allow other skills like that.
Sure.
Criminology would work if you have that.
I have that. My criminology is slightly better than my bureaucracy.
All right. Well, what's your criminology at?
50.
50. Okay. All right. All right. You'll get some information, but you start driving around the neighborhood. Look, it's a very nice neighborhood. Upscale. You would guess these houses sell. Every house in this place itself is worth a couple $100,000 at least. You know, 1-story ramblers. Upscale Northridge area, if you're familiar with Tampa. So yeah, it's a very nice neighborhood. As your initial impression. And so you go over to the library and you start trying to pull up news stories about it. You don't get any particular vibe of an illicit dark history. But you know, there's a couple of burglaries. There was a murder, but it was, you know, a husband losing his job and his wife was divorcing him, and, you know, that kind of thing. Domestic. That's the only, and that happened 3 years ago. So nothing particularly unusual gets your attention. Let's see here. Tim, what about you?
I'll look into the symbol.
The symbol. All right. What skill do you have for that?
I have occult at 50.
50. All right.
Man knows his stuff.
He does. So you spend some time looking it up. You identify this as the symbol for core, Kore, cause or Yaz, a deity worshipped by a Greek mystery cult. Kore is known as the queen of the underworld, related to rituals called katabasis, a physical descent into the underworld, not just transporting one's soul into the underworld, but physically going there. So that's what you get with your some preliminary occult research. The symbol is a oblong circle cut with two lines, with a smaller circle and line within it. So it's a very obscure it's a very obscure symbol. It would not it's not like any common, it's not in the 1977 Necronomicon or any of those other New Age or satanic texts. This is a very obscure thing that so you also realize there are restricted texts in Miskatonic University that you could access to gain, the primary sources for this kind of symbol. You could also, you do have contacts in Delta Green. You could try to find out more about that with additional research. That would be probably bureaucracy to try and make those kind of connections.
Well, how about I put, does Miskatonic have their library online?
No, not the restricted collection.
Okay.
For some reason,
there's a great short story about someone posting the Necronomicon online.
It digitizes very poorly for some reason.
All right. I don't want to leave Tampa if I don't have to, so right now I'll.
You're making the bureaucracy check to see if you can get somebody who's near Miskatonic University to go there for you.
Okay. My bureaucracy is.
Or someone in the program.
Right.
Been in the program a while.
All right, my bureaucracy is 60.
Okay.
And I rolled 24.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Rolling.
Okay, well, either way. So if you want to roll, that's fine. I'll roll for people who don't want to roll. You find out. It'll take you some time, so we'll get back to you. But you did succeed. So, meanwhile, the two agents, Agent Hamilton and Agent Cornwell, go to the house. It's a very nice house. Like I said, it's a one-story building, but fairly large. You probably 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. Rambler, it's nice. It's recessed behind a high wall with a large garden, backyard with a pool and several fruit trees. The garage is accessible via remote-controlled gate, the long driveway up through the yard. So the house is pink stucco. Roof is new, gray shingles, and the decor inside is light and airy. It's a new building. And you would guess no basement because this is Florida, and the ground is all swampy, and it's going to sink into the ocean in a few years anyway. So, why build a basement? Anyway, so the you make it. You have to. It's behind a wall, so you have to go on the number. It's like, hello, can I help you?
Cornwell?
Yes, hello, ma'am. I'm Special Agent Cornwell here with the FBI, and we'd like to see if we can assist you in any way with the problems you've been having.
Oh! I did not know I didn't. Nobody from the department told me the feds were getting involved. But
slow day, ma'am. You understand.
Oh, well, of course. Come in.
Quietly to Cornwall. Stress that we're here in an unofficial capacity. It's the FBI is taking a greater interest in hate crimes.
Okay.
And wants to gather information, but we are not taking over the investigation.
Okay.
We use our name to get in the door.
So you,
as we walk toward the house,
yeah.
Okay. As we walk toward the house, just looking around the yard without detouring, like signs of how an intruder got to the door, anything like scuff marks on the wall or an area where the bushes have been disturbed.
From outside, you can see the door itself. Let's see here. You can see the scratch marks are still faintly there. Obviously, the blood and stuff has been removed. You can smell like ammonia. Industrial cleaners have been used to clean it off. But the so you can still see the marks faintly, but all the biological stuff has been removed. You don't. I mean, there's plenty. Like I said, there's trees and other things outside the house. So if someone can get over the wall, they could easily get up to the door without being noticed, especially at night if nobody was watching. So let's take a look here. So that's what you see outside the house. Is there anything else you were looking for in particular before you get to the door?
No. There's not much else I can look for without detouring. I'm not going to do that till we talk to her.
That is true. So Evelyn welcomes you in there. She's looks like late 30s, early 40s. Very pleasant. She's smiling. Both of you can give me human rolls.
Do you mind rolling for me, Ross?
Yep.
Yes, please.
All right. And,
Jeez.
oh yeah. Both of you. She does not seem particularly distressed about what's going on. She's not. She looks rather normal, almost. Oh hello. Happy to have company or guests.
Wait, she's not particularly concerned about somebody graffitiing her house.
Well, I mean, you would guess she thinks it's neighborhood kids or something like that, teenage punks.
Okay, she doesn't think it's malicious.
She doesn't seem unusually distressed.
Yeah, no, she's not like fearing for her life or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or she's not paranoid. Yeah. Maybe it's just a big well, get you guys. It could be totally normal. Thanks you. Thanks both of you for looking into this. Tells you that it was it was kind of weird. We didn't hear about it until after it happened. I smell. I think that I just think it's neighborhood kids, to be honest, or teenagers, or some low life who saw us together and wants to make a scare. But I mean, it hasn't happened again. It was only the one time that I've noticed. So,
no. Sorry. The last name's Bernier.
Bernier. Bernier.
Okay, good. I have it there. All right. Mrs. Bernier.
Mm-hmm.
So there were also reports of a small fire in the kitchen.
Yes. Honestly, I think that was just a coincidence. Honestly, I left the. It was just on the stove. I think someone just had the. It was just a small fire on the stove that I must have left something on there, and it smoldered and then caught.
With an electric stove, man.
Yeah, it was in the kitchen, and I don't know. I mean, I had to clean up, but it was just that's what woke us up. Was the smoke alarm. I mean, I think it was just a coincidence. The kids hit us the same night. There's no sign of forced entry. That's what the police said, and I didn't see any broken windows or anything like that.
How are the children taking it, man? I understand it can be difficult, especially when you're in their age, to think of somebody.
Oh, I think they're handling it quite well, all things considered. They were both kind of disturbed when it happened, but we didn't let them linger on it. We've been, Chaz is quite busy now with school. He's very popular, and Catherine, she's very precocious. She's very focused on her studies, and so I think my husband got a new alarm, and the police have been driving by, and we've just been a little more vigilant. I don't think it'll happen again.
Without meaning to seem too forward, Evelyn, what are your children's extracurricular activities? What do they do?
Well, it's not that. Chad is in basketball, and Catherine is she's learning the violin right now. And Of course, she also has to study extra for her because of her sign language issues. You know, she's very focused on that. So, yeah, there's nothing unusual. They don't run, neither of them run with the wrong crowd. They're both.
Oh
very,
no, that I didn't mean to imply that.
Yeah.
Just
But
in terms of people who might decide to vandalize rivalry between children, leading to
well,
child
they haven't
attacks.
said anything, and we haven't heard, you know, nothing from the school. I don't think they didn't. I asked them that right after it happened, and neither of them had any idea of who it would be. And I trust them. I don't think they would do anything like that for me.
Nope. They sound like lovely children.
Okay.
Is that them there? I will point at some picture in the room.
Yes, that was us at Busch Gardens, you know, last year.
Looks nice. Looks nice.
Yeah, it was. It was
Notice anything, not necessarily suspicious, but just anything different in the way you're using the neighborhood? We understand that you're a stay-at-home mom, so you usually have your finger on the pulse, as it were, of events and goings on.
Well, I mean, Catherine's very busy with school, and Chad has practice every day. But he doesn't come in, and then he has, of course, he's very and then he gets tutoring, and you know, he has a social life, so he's often out until 9 or 10 o'clock at night. But my husband has been getting a better schedule. They really want to keep him there at Altex, so they don't, you know, he doesn't have to worry about overtime anymore. His last job was terrible about that. But, they believe in work-life balance at Altex.
Well, that's good to hear. Maybe we should apply. No, nudge my partner.
No, that certainly sounds. It sounds like you've found a good arrangement. I'm going to text. Sorry, I've lost character names here. So, who was staying behind researching the symbol?
I believe that's Sean, Tim's character.
Perfect. I'm going to text Sean, and just all text ?
Okay, so Tim, you get that. You also do get a message back from a contact in Delta Green who has checked the Miskatonic reference section and sends you a text message, through, you know, encrypted kind of stuff. Kevin, can you, when you're moving around, could you mute the microphone?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. All right. So you get the message back from him, and he says that the text that core, that symbol is in, the symbol of core is in, is a book known to produce hypergeometrical effects. It is heavily restricted. No one has had access to it outside of the program, and certain whitelisted researchers for decades. We do not know if the text in question. We are not sure if there are any other copies extant in the world. So that may be why the group is interested in this. Why Delta Green is interested in that.
Okay. And what was the text I got from you?
Altex, the company that Tim Bernier works for.
All right. Well, I'll start working on that next, I guess.
Okay, so you start researching that. Let's see here. Meanwhile, Karen, so you've finished your survey of the neighborhood. As far as you can tell, it's not built on an Indian burial ground. It's not on a ley line nexus, or there haven't been any UFO sightings or chupacabra sightings, or it's a very white bread kind of upper middle class, very new development, all things considered. Most of the houses are built in the last 10 years. So yeah, there's no the particular geography of this place has no significance to you. All you found out is by looking at the Berniers that they moved there within the last I think they moved there 5 years ago. Yeah, or 6 years ago.
Okay. So the Berniers' house, did they build that house, or did somebody else build it and they moved in?
Someone else built it and they moved in. They've been the only owners though. It was purchased in 2010 for $350,000, new from the Quadmark Housing Development Company with a mortgage from Bay Street Bank.
Okay, can I find out what the like the model home looked like for that, and if there are any sort of differences between what was built for that house and the sort of the show house they show in the development? Like,
oh yeah,
here we'll build this.
So you want to see if the secret cult chamber or anything like that?
Secret cult chambers, yeah, basements,
yeah, mausoleums, sure.
Exactly.
All right, yeah, you get the blueprints pretty easily. They'll take you some more time, but there's nothing unless they built it secret. There's nothing between the model house and the Bernier's house. Okay. So if there are any secret things, it was built after construction.
Secretly, one might say.
Yeah, secretly, one might say. Very good. So there's that. What do you want to do next?
I'll text asking to check into the company itself. Like, is it on Delta Green's watch list for past events?
I'll text you. Find out fairly quickly. It's they work in medical microchip. They work in medical technology. Tim Bernier is a highly sought after engineer. Many recommendations on LinkedIn, and other employers have been trying to contact him. His current employer is probably ecstatic to have him. He is certainly probably very well paid. Altex, as far as you can tell with a cursory examination, is a legitimate company making MRI machines and other high-tech medical machinery. And they need a microchip engineer. And they're paying him quite well to do that for them. And he has had several other companies he's worked for in the past. He moved to Tampa from Chicago, where he worked for another electronics company, and was similarly praised for his talent. But nothing unusual. So, unless you know. So, let's see here. So that's what you get from Altex, and it doesn't ring any bells. There's nothing that jumps out at you, but there's that.
I'll ask Evelyn. Do you mind if Cornwell and I take a walk around the yard, just get a feel for the place?
Of course, yes. It can't hurt to have another look. Maybe with the you can double check their work, I guess.
Well, I'll put my hands out. I'll be like, let's be really careful about the phrasing on that. Okay. I just want to get a feel for the place. I'm sure your locals did a great job.
Okay. So yeah, you haven't done anything unusual, so she's quite willing to trust you to walk around her house. So you can give me a search check. What's your search at?
Mine's terrible. I think it's 20.
I have it at 50, I believe.
Right. Mine's 30.
Okay. Well, Cornwell, you do extremely well with a 44. So that is a critical success. So actually, by the front door, you actually find by one of the bush, you actually find a sort of pile or a dry of organic material. It's smells kind of bad when you get close to it. It's kind of half buried in the dirt or in the grass. And you have forensics, right?
Yeah,
I have forensics.
You remember the photo? It's the same color as the stuff that was put on the door, and you realize this is where this must have been where this is the palette for or this was some like whoever carved those things on the door wiped their blade or whatever off there, and so that's leftover goo from that, because it's not just blood, it's definitely thicker. And
okay,
I will curse the professionality of Tampa Bay Police Department as I bend over to inspect it.
Okay.
Before you do too much with that,
I ain't touching it.
Okay, Ross, I had listed a go bag on my sheet. Do I actually have that stuff with me?
Sure.
All right, fantastic. I'll go back to the car
Mhm.
and just grab a couple of pairs of latex gloves
Mhm.
and a plastic bag.
Okay.
Come back and collect some of that.
Okay. Yeah, you get
And
you do that.
okay.
No, yeah. So you have a sample of goo.
Yep.
It is thicker than usual. Do you have forensics? I forgot.
Yeah, I have forensics at 50.
50. Okay. Obviously, you'll take more time to do an analysis, but you see tiny little bone fragments in it.
Okay.
So you would guess this actually, it looks like flesh that's been kind of dried out, so this is like, it reminds you actually of like roadkill,
Like
something
somebody took like a mummified possum and used it for graffiti.
something like that.
Awesome.
Do you point this out to Evelyn? She's not accompanying you, by the way.
No, I don't think I'm going to mention it.
Okay.
That's a conversation for the other agents and then deciding what to do next.
Okay. Are you going to do? Are you too done with your interview? Bleh.
Yeah, I
or
think
you- okay.
How do you feel about it, Cornwall? I think we're done with her anyway.
Yeah, we may need to come back later and speak to either the family as a whole or just the husband. But for now, I believe we're finished.
Okay.
Actually, I'll ask if she has a business card for her husband.
She gives you his number.
Thank you, and I'll just say,
I'll let him know
follow up with him.
you'll want to talk to him. Do you have a card?
Would appreciate that. I pat my pockets and smile sheepishly and say, I'm afraid I actually don't.
I'm already in the car.
I'll be in touch shortly.
Okay.
All right.
All right. All right. So you all can talk to each other. You've researched Altex at this point. You've kind of figured out more about the occult symbol, and probably why Delta Green is interested in the symbol. You have not figured out. Well, I mean, yeah. What do you guys want to do next? You can all talk, call each other, a conference call, or meet, at a motel inn or a.
Yeah. Why don't we meet at a Greasy Spoon?
Okay. All right, so you all get there to a Denny's, which is all nearby, and sit down to talk. What's the next step?
So,
Yeah, I'm still researching.
you can do that from the Denny's. I'm sure they have Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Probably.
On your spanking new laptop.
So we info dump. So we need to find out more about the organic material, I think.
Oh, actually, I forgot to mention, you also made your forensic check. The marks you did see on the door were very kind of jagged. It was definitely not made with like a sharp knife or something like that, or it was made with something more jagged and duller, but like with great strength.
So like a talon?
Human fingernails.
Like a talon, yeah. No, definitely not a human fingernail. A human fingernail could not do that without breaking on the door.
Oh, actually, yeah. And what material was the door made out of? It's a wooden door?
It's, oh god, what would it be made out of? It's not made out of metal. It's like
Like, is it like a fire door? Like
well, it's
core,
like
or?
a high quality door. So it's like
So painted metal on wood kind of thing.
yeah, painted metal on wood. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely not something that you could easily. Let's see here. So yeah, probably like steel or something like that. Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't know what a high-end house in Tampa, Florida would have the door made out of, but it's definitely not something you could scratch with a fingernail without breaking your fingernail.
I can tell you what condo doors in Calgary, Alberta are made out of.
Is it metal or is it wood?
It's metal over wood.
Metal over wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably metal over wood. We'll just say that. And but even the wood part, you would not be able to scratch with a fingernail without damaging your finger. Certainly not like to make it maybe a tiny little mark, but not like a big ass, circle with other.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but talon, maybe somebody wielding like a large talon or claw from an animal or something like that could do that.
Gator tooth.
Or a really hard steak.
Yeah. A tooth, yeah. You would have to be wielding it in your hand or something like that to make a symbol like that. You couldn't like open. You couldn't get like you couldn't just take a bear and open its mouth and carve the symbol. You know that would not work. Certainly, if the bear was alive. Of course, you know. You don't want to think about the other possibilities.
Okay, so what we have is we've got a highly sought after microchip designer. We've got a symbol on his front door. Nobody saw anything. Something burning inside the house that apparently woke the family on the night that this happened.
A very obscure symbol.
A very obscure symbol. And you mentioned the whitelist thing?
The whitelist, yeah. Only certain researchers have been able to access that book for like decades.
I think we might need to find out who's on that whitelist and cross-reference them with Tim Bernier.
Okay.
Or with companies that have sought Tim Bernier or that Tim Bernier has worked for.
Okay.
So that will require somebody who's better at navigating bureaucracies than me.
Okay.
I'm going to make a call. Actually, I think I'm going to take the organic material to like a university and to a university biology department, see if I can sweet talk my way into getting someone to look at it and talk to me about what it might be.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Do you have it'd allow persuasion, bureaucracy, or a science skill?
I will go for persuasion when that happens.
Right.
Feel free to sing out, guys, if you think I'm headed in the wrong direction. So we need to cross-reference Tim with that whitelist. I'll get the organic material checked out. What else?
I think it's good to have the organic material. I mean, it's an idea, but it might be a waste of time. I don't believe we can roadkill from here to Miami, and I don't know if we can narrow that down to anything.
Well, I think
unless
there's a little bit more to it than roadkill. It's been mixed with something else.
Well, you don't have to necessarily DNA sample it. You could just examine it with your go bag. I allow you to try and figure out exactly what the material is to a certain degree.
Yeah, actually, in that case, I'll do it. I just figured it might require somebody with like chemistry, for example.
Well, forensics is enough.
Okay.
So you get a room at the Sleep Easy Inn, and in the bathroom, you open it up. It smells bad, but you kind of like open up the goo and kind of examine it, and you quickly find small entrails, bone fragments, and other organ parts that have clearly been just you would take a guess that this was created by someone taking small animals and literally just crushing them until they're just goo.
So somebody like pickled or jellied a bunch
of animals? No, like just physical force.
Oh, just physical force.
Like the roadkill thing is actually pretty on hit.
Yeah, so somebody did. They picked up a possum and like smeared it across the door.
But I mean, there's actually bits that look like the entrails are of different sizes, so it's like multiple animals put together and crushed. So it could, that would be the easiest physical explanation.
Our artist paints with a varied palette. Anything distinctive about the material at all? So nothing was added to it. This is entirely remains.
These are entirely remains as far as you can tell without doing DNA typing or anything like that. They all appear to be the animals, judging by the size of various organ parts. There's multiple animals in there, probably from very small to actually medium size. Like there's a bit of intestine that is much larger than the others, and you would guess that would come from a mid-size mammal of some sort, like a cat or a very large rat or a rabbit or something like that.
I am going to do a quick check on Craigslist or like the local classifieds or what have you, like lost pet ads for that neighborhood.
There actually are two.
Okay.
And they are both houses adjacent to the Bernier's home. Actually, no, they wouldn't have that information on the Craigslist ad.
Well, they'd probably have a phone number.
Yeah,
right? Or it would be like lost from this block. So
I already gave you the information. Yeah, you can phone number look that up, or with a bit of legwork, realize they're literally houses on the left and the right of the Bernier.
Gordon lies for a living, right? So he phones the number and says, "Oh, I found a pet. I think it matches the description," and then and then says eventually says like, "Oh, I guess it's not yours."
Yeah.
So.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a small cat and a small dog, each on other sides of the house that have gone missing.
All right.
I
So
will ask Sean, in his research into the cult of, what was it called? Something Core?
Core.
core.
Yeah. There's a ritual called kata basis, a physical descent into the underworld.
Yeah.
I'll ask if fire is a motif at any point in their things, or
No.
involved in a ritual of some sort. No. Okay.
Nope.
They don't do burnt offerings.
Yeah, that was the thought.
Here's one for anybody who feels like they're good at research. Storm drains, underground structures, caves in, near, or around the neighborhood. Probably not caves, but
No. Not in that geography.
Not in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
no, but like large storm drains, anything like that.
This takes you a couple more hours, but yeah, you can find the storm drains. There's nothing particularly large near them. I mean, they're pretty decent storm drains because, again, it's a newer development. You find out that land used to be like a scrap yard before it was turned into a nice neighborhood. So they're pretty decent storm drains because Florida, they have to deal with a lot of storms. But nothing super unusual. No massive chambers, especially nothing below the Bernier's house, directly below the Bernier's house.
But take the time to mark the entrances in that neighborhood just so that we know where they are if we get desperate to figure out what's going
on. So Karen, what are you going to be doing while they're doing this kind of research?
Oh, that's a good question.
Actually, as a CIA officer, you realize you don't have the complete family picture because you don't know who the biological mother is at this point. Evelyn is not the biological mother of the kids. I don't know if that came across.
Yeah, and actually, to be fair, I didn't even think to ask whether or not she'd be in the picture.
She was not. You remember that. It was only the current Berniers.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah.
So could there be like a bureaucracy check to look for divorces or birth records?
Yeah. Let's see. What's your bureaucracy?
40.
40. Okay.
07.
Oh, you get a critical success with a 1. So here's what you find out. Yes, the biological mother lives in Chicago. They got divorced 7 years ago. Or no, 9 years ago. They let's see here. Her name is Sarah Garrison. She is a former Chicago PD officer. She's still living in Chicago. Is not currently working for the Chicago Police Department. You do not have a current address for her. At least actually, no, you do get a current address for her. It's in Chicago. And it was they divorced for irreconcilable differences, which is kind of a standard thing, but not infidelity or anything like that. So
and the kids went with the dad.
Kids went with the dad.
That's curious.
As far as you can tell, Sarah is not currently employed, but that could be. I mean, there's limits to even what a critical will give you.
Yep.
So. You have her, but you do get a phone number that you can try and call up.
Okay. I could give her a ring, being a PI, ask if she has any, inquire into the irreconcilable differences, see if anything comes up.
I think that sounds like an excellent idea.
That could be. Another thing you guys all do know, because several of you have criminology trained. You do realize the standard technique for this kind of thing is to do a stakeout and see if the perpetrator comes back.
Yep, that was going to be the next suggestion.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
So, who wants to drink cold coffee and eat gas station food tonight?
I'm good with that.
I think we all should, because we
Okay.
should have people on the house and also people following the father. So
Oh.
there are enough of us to do that.
By the way, only the 2 FBI agents have guns right now, because you have to. They don't let you take guns on the plane usually. I guess you could check luggage. You could check a gun in luggage, actually, though. So who does have a gun?
If I get the option, yes. FBI.
My firearms is 50, so yes.
Okay. I assume just a handgun.
Yeah,
Or okay.
Yeah.
like a Beretta.
Right. Karen, are you taking one too?
I do not have a gun. If I need a gun, things have gone very wrong.
I tend to agree with that line of thinking.
You're not wrong. I'll say that.
It's like a
not
security
I'm
blanket.
not law enforcement, and I can shoot really well. I can shoot pretty well, but I'm if I need a gun, probably going to pick it up off of one of you guys.
So forgive my naivety. How lax are firearms laws in Florida in terms of waiting periods and things like
It's a
that?
red state. It's pretty fucking lax.
It's pretty lax.
Yeah.
So decent fake ID and a decent fake ID and fast talk to procure a couple.
You
of
don't have a
38
fake
revolvers.
ID, but you don't need a fake ID. You could, if you want to get one in cash, you can spend a point off one of your bonds to hit an ATM, and then later on you have to justify to your bond why you just why you're not making that alimony payment or whatever.
That's just my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't need that vacation to Busch Gardens.
Vacation's canceled, honey.
I'll just forget to give her meds for a little while. She'll forget quick.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So Gordon's 56. He's had a life. I'll spend a point off a bond to procure a 38 and a box of shells. So I'd say medium pistol, medium revolver.
Yeah.
It's not going to be quiet.
Nope.
And I will give that to. Sorry.
Well, to be honest, you're in a neighborhood with a lot of people. Even a gun. These are Delta Green silencers, not movie silencers. Even a silencer, people are going to hear a silenced gun unless it's like a 22.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why I carry a knife.
All right.
I'd much rather, most people don't think a knife is nearly as dangerous, and that's fine. So Sean,
Yes,
I will carefully procure and clean a weapon for Sean and provide that to him. And obviously you're clear that that's a desperation measure only. But that gives us that much more coverage, because I do not want to fire my service weapon if I do not have to. Yeah. I'd much rather it was a drop piece. So ideally, if you use that on someone, you have someone else to pin it on.
No, that is how it works.
And there you go. So basically, shoot 2 people. Try to make sure one of it, get one of them in the head, and then leave the piece behind. Yeah. There we go.
So the next question is, before you set the stake up out, what do you guys want to do? You have a couple hours to kill. Even one of you has to go and get the gun, but the rest of you can do something else if you want to. Yeah. But is there anything else you want to do before you start the stakeout?
So would it be disguise or criminology to work up some covers for people?
What kind of covers?
Business cards from made up law firms.
No check for that. I mean, disguise is more like if you're trying to put on a specific work uniform to get into a specific place, that would be a disguise check.
Okay.
But just having business cards, no.
I'm just trying to come up with some, like business cards, paperwork for a law firm that we could, use if we needed to interview more people. Where would
you could spend your hours creating some cover papers, business cards for the Murdoch law firm or whatever. So
a nice throwaway legend.
Yeah. That all right. So one of you gets a gun. One of you makes some law firm business cards at the Kinko's and memo pad or whatever. So you can have some sort of credibility. Covering that so that leaves 2 more agents. Are you guys just going to get food and drink and set up?
Somebody hit the quickie mart and load up.
Should I call the ex-wife now or delay?
No, if you don't have anything else to do, you can talk to the ex-wife now. I'm gonna go AFK for a minute. I will return.
I'm gonna take one of the several burners I have and give that to you for you to make that call.
Okay.
Yeah, my line of work, I imagine I have a couple of burners and a big pile of cash with me. That's pretty much it for equipment.
Okay.
Cornwell will do like I did and Google up private investigators in Tampa Bay, Florida, and come up with the name Sharpline Investigations Limited.
Okay.
I will then proceed to call the ex Mrs. Bernier.
Well, her name is Sarah Garrison. So
Okay.
she reverted to her maiden name. So you call up Miss Garrison. She's hello?
Hello, Miss Garrison. My name is Mark Lauren. I'm with Sharpline Investigations Limited out of Tampa Bay, Florida. How are you doing today?
Tampa?
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you calling me? Do you have the wrong number?
No, ma'am. You previously married to a Mr. Bernier? I don't remember
Bernier?
his first name.
Yes.
His current wife, Evelyn Bernier, she has some concerns about his fidelity and has asked us to look into it. We were calling you for more or less
Are the kids
answer of a
alright?
basic thing.
Are the kids
Oh,
all
they're fine. They're fine. They're fine. This is more just of a character recommendation. We wanted to see there's not a listed reason for why you split, and the current Mrs. Bernier was not forthcoming. So we wanted to get your opinion before beginning our investigation.
Wait, who are you doing this on behalf of? If she's not who
The current Mrs. Bernier.
But she wouldn't tell you?
She did not know. It was not listed in the forms. She
Uh,
gave us specific times with which to contact her, and currently we are outside of those times. So, in order to save time, we were choosing to call you.
I haven't talked to him in a long time. I've been here in Chicago. That's all past me. I mean, the kids are all right though, right?
That is outside of my knowledge, ma'am. Is there any reason we should be concerned?
They're my children.
Well, of course, ma'am. But I'm not with the police. I'm simply a private investigator.
What firm are you with?
It is Sharpline.
Sharpline. Okay.
Sharpline Investigations Limited.
Sharpline
4.9 stars on Google search.
Oh, so okay. Let me just call you back on your office number. What's your name?
Mark Lauren, ma'am.
Mark Lauren?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna call you back on your office number.
Yes, ma'am.
Click.
Click. Well, damn. That's curious and suspicious.
You can give me a human check.
Okay, I have it at 80.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, that she is
Suspicious fuck.
she is very suspicious. And she's clearly used to common tactics to deceive and easily faked cover identities and how to throw them off. So whatever she did in the police department, she was obviously not just a clerk or anything. She must have been a detective, you would guess, something like that. So yeah, she doesn't call back.
Pull the battery on the phone.
Click. Do so.
Hey, Sean, you were doing the research, right?
Yep.
Out of curiosity, when next you're in touch with them, do you want to find out how Miskatonic got that book?
I will do that. And how about I ask if she's met any of the people on that white list?
Yeah, or why don't you check and see if maybe she's friendly?
Yeah.
You get a message back. It's a text message. Tim Bernier is not on the whitelist. Tim Bernier is not a known associate of anyone on the whitelist.
Okay. That definitely helps.
I'll try and call a DG contact to get some more information about Ms. Garrison.
Okay.
What she did for Chicago PD. If she's read in at all with us.
Okay. You can give me what's your bureaucracy?
40.
Okay. All right. You get a message back. Information not available at this time.
Okay.
So
We know when she quit the police department, right?
you do not.
Oh.
You know, she did work for the police department at the time of their divorce, but appears not to be currently working for them.
Are there any news articles from the Chicago papers in the last 10 years about her?
Yeah, 10 years ago there was one where she was interviewed, mentioned that a drugged in, quote unquote drugged in, burned to the ground because the users inside unfortunately used a pipe and fell asleep, and things caught on fire, and that's why they all died. And then the building collapsed on top of them, causing or partially collapsed on them, causing numerous injuries to their bodies.
Guys, I think she's one of us.
Or at least once.
Risk. She was like, okay, going by your voice, Ross. She sounded worried when I spoke to her on the phone, but
Human check, you know, she is the mother of those children and has not seen them in a long time.
But I didn't even have to mention her children. I just mentioned we were hired
mentioned
by
Tampa,
her.
that she knows where they live.
Well, that was she asked whether I'm a private investigator, not the police. And,
yeah,
I was faking that.
Yeah, well,
she knows that now.
She responded the way we would have responded.
Yeah.
Yes, fair enough.
Or a person who hasn't seen their children for many years is, you know, first you get a call from someone claiming to be a PI from their city and be like, "What? Of course it's going to be alarming." That's actually
so.
That's going to be actually that's a rather natural reaction. That assumes that does prove she cares about her children. She did appear to be under stress. She's obviously anxious, high strung. It sounds like you woke her up. And you called her in the late afternoon.
So the apartment building burned down 10 years ago?
Well, a drugged in.
Drugged in.
Yeah.
And she has been divorced for 9 years.
Yeah.
And so a year after the drugged in burned down, she divorces Tim Bernier, and lets him take the kids.
Yeah, sounds like a PTSD style response.
It's you know, they're just I'm getting more and more curious about her, and what she was up to. You know, I joked, you know, she's one of us. Maybe she's one of them.
Could be. The question is her area code is Chicago, but was that a cell phone or a landline that you called?
It sounded like a cell phone.
All right.
Or no, you can. I assume you guys have computer science. You can. I assume it's pretty easy to figure out whether a thing's a cell phone or a landline. So that takes you a little more time. So it's evening by the time you figure that out. That she was calling you from a cell phone.
Shoot her a text on the same phone, plug the battery back in, I guess, and say, "Ever been to the night at the opera?" This is asking a group.
No
possibility. Okay, just checking.
Let's not continue to poke that potential lead just yet. So we need to go and do the stakeout. I think that's a great idea. We should probably go to a car for coverage.
Okay.
We took Cornwell's car last time. We'll take my car this time.
Okay.
And we'll switch it up a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, no. Cornwell and I should be together because if we get made, no one will be surprised, having seen us in the neighborhood earlier.
Again, most of the houses have walls, so they're actually not going to pay too much attention to cars that are parked on the street.
Yay for subdivision security.
Yeah. And again, it's a relatively quiet thing, and so yeah, you can also rotate. You can just have one car come in and take a couple hours, and then the next one come in. So if you want to have both cars there at once.
I'm kind of in favor of having both cars there, but within a block of each other. What do you think, guys?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, are a couple of cars parked out on the street going to stand out in this neighborhood if everybody has?
No.
Okay.
Unless you draw attention to yourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, like at either end of the block.
If this was an ordinary investigation, I'd say we cycle, but we're not here on an ordinary investigation, so yes, we stay in pairs.
Okay. So you're both there, all four of you there. So let's see here. I assume both of you're going to be facing the front of the house. You're going to be in the street that's facing the front, so you can see the front side of the house. Or do you want to because the back of the house there's a pool, so you would be further away from the street behind the house is much farther away.
Yeah, is there a view of the backyard from anywhere that isn't someone else's backyard?
No, I mean not unless you got out into you'd have to climb a tree to get a good view of the backyard area.
And that would be suspicious.
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
I just want to make sure
that
Just
is.
a friendly neighborhood peeping Tom, ma'am.
Are there any foreclosed houses?
Yeah, there is one down the block. I mean, within view of the house.
Okay, that's not much better in the car, but okay.
Yeah, why don't we use the cars for tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. So you all set up. You're both on the street. Both cars are on the street. 2 agents per. Is it going to be FBI, and then CIA and Navy? And car 1 is FBI car 2 is CIA Navy.
Car 2 is the civilian car.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we should go with that.
Okay.
Car 2. Well, wait a minute.
I'm just a professor.
Yeah, I don't want to have to explain why I'm sitting in a car with a civilian on the off chance that we get pegged. So hopefully one of you guys can talk fast if you need to.
Okay. So all 4 of you are there. Everyone let's see here. This is going to be a sand check to see how tired you guys get. And so Jeff, what is your current sanity?
Current sanity is 70.
70. All right, so you're fine. You get a 62. Kevin.
Current sanity is 60.
60. Let me roll that again. 57. All right, you're fine.
Cool.
No, if you fail, you lose willpower. You don't lose sanity. So, let's see. Next one, Kevin, or Sean. I assume your character has a sanity higher than 14, so you're fine. And then let's see here. Who is last? Tim. What's your
70?
70. All right. Yeah, you're all fine. You're all used to late nights. So you're all watching the house, and let's see who notices a thing first. Jeff, what is your alertness?
1 sec here. 50.
50.
50.
Okay. All right. Kevin.
60.
60. All right. Sean.
70.
70. 70. All right. And Tim.
30.
30. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Sean. You actually can see the bedroom window, a bedroom window. You're not sure whose because you haven't been in the house yet.
Right.
But you see a shadowy silhouette walk in front of the window that seems to be growing out of the ground, like literally just kind of popping up like and it's very tall and elongated, much taller than it should be. Is it a trick of the light? Maybe someone's standing in front of a light. That's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to tell from this distance, but
I slapped my fellow agent point.
So let's see here. Tim, Sean looks and then finally notices it. You can't believe you missed it. But yeah, it's some sort of literally shadowy figure. You can't tell too much, but it's very tall and elongated. Something's wrong about it, but it's hard to tell from this distance. Something's off. Tim?
Yep. Hello?
Yes. I can hear you.
Okay. So is that a sanity check?
Not yet. You're pretty far.
Okay. I am gonna text the other car.
Okay. All right. Then the historian bravely texts the FBI car. What are you texting?
Possibly unnatural at such and such a window.
Okay. FBI guys, you get a text from burner phone 4. You both look over and you can see you finally notice a shadowy silhouette moving around the bedroom.
So is it moving around inside the bedroom or
Yeah,
or we're
inside the
seeing-
bedroom.
Oh.
You could cross the street, and if you got over the wall or peeked around the gate, if you walked out, left the car, you could make another alertness check to see more of what the figure and what it's doing. But there's clearly someone inside that bedroom standing up and moving around. And there's like a small light on in the bedroom. That's how you can see it. But it's mostly dark in there. So
And we don't know whose bedroom it is.
no, you do not. You did not search the house.
Nope, fair enough. I will. I'll dig around in my go bag, pull out the wool cap.
Okay.
We're in regular clothes anyway. Because I have white hair and stuff. I want to be a little less distinctive. I know I'll be really obvious, but what time of year is it, by the way?
I will say it is May.
Okay,
It's also
nice and warm.
Florida.
I know it's
year.
Florida. Oh yeah,
Well,
Not worried
question
about
is
that.
whether or not it's raining right now.
but
It is not raining.
I'm reasonably sneaky, so I'll slide out of the car
I
Okay.
will stay in the car.
and
Okay.
I'll text the others and let them know I'm getting closer to check it out.
Okay.
If anything happens, bail. I'll meet you back at the hotel.
All right.
Okay.
And then I will slip across the street and into the yard and see if I can't get a better view through that window.
Remember, there is a wall. You can peek through the gate at a penalty, or you can climb a wall.
I will climb that wall.
All right. What is your athletics at?
Not great.
Just say they
30.
said they got a new sensor, remember? So
Oh yeah,
I
they
guess
did.
you as you're climbing the thing.
So, are you still going to climb the wall?
Yeah.
Let's call the house phone. See if we can't scare it.
We should still get closer. I should be able to evade the sensor though, if I because they were talking about where it was earlier, right?
No, you didn't really pay
Actually,
attention to
neighboring yard tree
that. Neighboring yard tree. Sure. Let's climb a tree in the neighbor's yard.
that will give me a better view.
No dogs.
yeah,
no dogs,
sure.
No dogs.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
There's no
I'll
dogs.
keep an eye out
Yeah,
for
you
dogs.
know.
But yeah, so I'll see what I can do.
All right, you go over there. You cannot climb the tree. You do not critically fail, so you do not climb up and then fall down.
Just can't
But
make my way up into
You
it.
just can't. Yeah, you're just not as nimble as you used to be.
Fair enough.
It's a shitty ass palm tree.
Yeah.
I chuckle to myself at the idea of breaking my hip on an illegal investigation. All right. Unless I can see another way to get a better angle, I'll have to look through the gate at a penalty.
All right. What's your alertness at?
My alertness is 50.
All right. Let's see how you do. You cannot get a good look at it from there.
All right.
Now, if you have some sort of, I would allow computers. You could try and hack the gate to try and open it in there.
Yeah, this character is definitely not hacky.
Okay. So yeah, there's something in the house, and it's doing something in a bedroom.
Sigint to guess their code.
Yeah, criminology. Do you have criminology?
I do have criminology at 50.
50.
I have it at 70. If you want me to just step out of the car and do the keypad.
I've got a better chance of not being seen.
You actually do succeed with a 2.
Yay, I didn't
gate
critically
rolls
fail that.
open.
It's been hilarious.
The rest of you can see the shadowy figure clearly heard the gate moving and disappears from view.
Hey, I was going to try and snap a picture with my cell phone before while that was going on. Is that kosher?
Yeah. Do you have a skill that would handle that? I would allow computers or art.
No.
Okay.
I'm pointing my murder phone and pressing the click button.
All right. We'll see how we'll do an intelligence on dating.
My
It's
murder
a blurry photo, out of focus.
All
Roll
right.
80.
I can sell that to some.
Here I come.
I was going to say we can sell that to some Bigfoot enthusiasts for a bunch.
Yeah. All right.
There goes
So Gordon Hamilton, FBI agent, is sneaking up the driveway. Let's see here. Cornwell, what are you brave?
I'm
to
hanging
stay
out in
in
the
the
car. Yes.
All right.
I will come running out if there's gunfire.
Okay.
Or rather, sorry, drive away quickly, but I am not sneaky.
All right. Stillman, what are you doing?
Markham, who's the better driver, you or me?
Do you have anything in it?
Yes.
Well, then you're better than me.
All right. I'm sitting behind the driver's. I'm sitting behind the driving wheel, watching with interest.
Okay.
All right.
And finally, I just want to know where everyone is. And Markham, the naval historian, you're staying in the car too?
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
sneaky.
All right, so it's all on Gordon Hamilton, FBI. All right, so what is your stealth?
What could go wrong? 70.
70. Pretty sneaky. All right, you are pretty sneaky. Let's see here. All right. You're not quite sneaky enough. Something kind of just pours out of the doorknob. That it just kind of it appears as though dozens and dozens of humans were overlaid each other in movements in time lapse, in black body stockings, swimming through the air as if it were water. It just is moving fast and just floating through space wrong. It's 2 and 3 dimensional at the same time. You can't tell how far it is. It's right next to you or a mile away, as it's superimposed on each other. What's your sanity?
70.
70.
Right
It is now, you lose 1 point of sanity, so it is now 69. As yeah, your eye, it kind of hurts to look at it. And yeah, what do you do?
At this point, I'm going to beat feet toward the car. I'm just thinking about, well, because I haven't gone through the gate yet. I opened the gate, it started pouring out the door, right?
You opened the gate and started walking up the driveway.
Oh, okay. Started slipping up the driveway. Yeah, no, that's fine. There's no lights on or anything like that yet.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, there's just that little light in that one bedroom. And the creature's pouring out of the door.
So I'm going to
run.
I'm going to run.
All right. What's your athletics again?
Scream or anything? 30.
All right. You're not too fast. Let's see. The rest of you, you see the gate open. You see Hamilton see something, turn and start sprinting away. What are each of your reactions? Cornwall, what are you doing?
Is the car on already?
If you want it to be.
Okay. I had it running when he went to the gate.
Okay.
As it stands, I'm going to get out, get into his go bag, which is in the back seat, and grab the hunk of meat.
Okay, there's a hunk of meat in there. Okay.
Yeah, what we were studying.
The goo,
organic goo. Yeah,
the goo.
Yes.
Okay, you brought it with you. Okay,
Animal jam.
All right. The rotting animal innards. Okay.
Yes.
So you have. Okay, that's your action. Next we have Stillman. What is Stillman going to do? You don't see anything unusual yet. Whatever Hamilton saw, you do not see yet.
All right, so we have no idea that anything's happening. In fact,
well, you
we saw
him. He started walking out the driveway, and then immediately started running away.
All right, then I'm going to start the car.
Okay. All right, that's your option.
Yeah, start the car.
All right, Markham.
I'm gonna draw my pistol, but not like brandish it about yet. It's just ready.
All right. Let's see here. Hamilton, what is your dex?
10. 12.
10.
Sorry.
12. Unfortunately, that is not
10.
high. All right. Let's
10.
see here. Power as operator. Okay. It reaches out to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. What is your power?
POW is 15.
Oh, 15. All right.
Is there any chance of dodging it?
Let's take a look. Actually, yeah, you do get a chance to dodge it. It reaches out towards you.
My dodge is 30.
All right. Well, let's see if it hits you first. It does have an unarmed combat skill.
Oh, fair enough.
So, which it makes at a 45. So unless you get a critical, you will be struck by this.
I was going to say, so if I'm just trying to avoid it, it would be dodge. If I was like engaging it, it would be unarmed combat, right?
Yeah, you could try that.
I really don't want to engage it, so I'll settle for the dodge.
All right.
Thanks.
That's fair. You fail the dodge. So it kind of just moves through you, and let's see what happens to you. Oh, wow. Okay. And you get... fortunately, you only have to make a sand check for this.
Oh, I got a present.
Yeah, you did get a present, which you failed. Yeah. So let's roll a d6 because this is bad. You lose 1 point of sanity as your consciousness briefly starts pulling out of your mind. Like you see your point of view, your perspective, just soar out of what you're looking at and into the darkness, into the void. You're being sucked into something, and then through an intense sense of vertigo, you are no longer. You're back in your body as you whip a rubber band back into your consciousness. You somehow resisted it. Whatever it was, but you kind of fall on the ground, just choking and staggering. All three of you now can see the thing. Again, multiple, like a pure black silhouette person thing swimming through the air, multiple 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional versions of itself superimposed on each other. So I'll just go and make those other sand checks.
Yeah.
For Cornwell, what is your sanity? Kevin?
60.
60. Okay.
Am I not muted?
Yeah, no, I didn't hear that. But you did make your check, so you're gonna lose 1 sanity. Stillman, what is Stillman's?
65.
All right, 1 sanity for Stillman. And then Markham was 70, right?
Correct.
All right, he loses 1 as well. All of you are keeping your shit together. Yeah, it's what is everyone gonna do? Yeah.
All right.
Hamilton just collapsed on the ground. But it clearly sees all of you because both of you started the engines to your cars. So Cornwell, what are you gonna do?
I got in the meat out because when he started running away, I thought somebody had hurt us, so I was going to throw the meat at the house and pretend we were the vandals. But things have gotten worse.
They have gotten worse.
You say that Gordon is lying on the ground, not moving or twitching?
Yeah, it touched him and he kind of collapsed.
Is it like making it to touch him further?
No, it just noticed both of your vehicles. So it's like it seems to be on you and near you and a million miles away at the same time. So yeah.
I'm gonna flip a coin. Okay, I'm going for Gordon. I'm gonna throw the meat at the thing while going to grab Gordon and try and run away.
All right, you throw the meat at it. It just goes through. It does nothing. So how are you getting Gordon? Are you getting out of the car and trying to drag him away?
I'm gonna like you would with a dangerous animal. Going to move, hands up, and attempt to grab his leg and pull him away. If it makes any move towards me, I am. Yes.
Okay.
Getting out of the car.
All right. You get out of the car and rush. What's your athletics?
30. It's not going to go well. If it makes a move,
you actually critically succeed.
Yes!
With an 11. So you actually, with a burst of adrenaline, just throw the door open, rush over, and drag him away. You can either just go for distance, or you can like pick him up.
Distance.
All right, you drag him over the curb. Hamilton takes 1 point of damage from being dragged along the street. Yeah.
You'll forgive me if we make it through this.
So you're no longer the closest thing. So that's great. And then let's see here. Next up we have Stillman, CIA. What's Karen doing?
I'm gonna hit the high beams.
Oh, okay. Give me a drive check to get in position without fucking your car up, because your car was not point.
28 out of 40.
28 out of 40. All right.
I'm sorry, did you can roll it.
No, that's fine. If you want to roll, all right, you succeed. It's new sand checks for everyone. It collapses into a tiny mote of shadow instantly, like a magic trick. It just instantly folds in onto itself and kind of disappears. So, except for, of course, Hamilton, because he's not seeing this right now. But An 86. That's definitely a fail. So,
Yep, 59 if I was going first again.
so that's 3 more sand for you. And
Okay.
Stillman. Let's see here. That is a 34, so that's only 1 sand for you. And then let's see here, Markham. That's 29. That's another sand, 1 sand for you.
right.
So yeah, it seems to have disappeared.
In the car. In the car.
Wait. Oh, Markham, are you doing anything this round?
This round, no. Did I see the meat go through the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so my pistol's useless. All right. Right now, I'm just going to be keeping my head on a swivel, making sure it's not sneaking up behind us or something.
Okay. All right. Next round. Let's see here. Cornwell, you went. Hamilton, you're coming too.
Okay.
You're just, oh my god.
Bad
Oh
headache for
god.
some
Yeah,
reason.
you have a bad headache.
Can I act or am I out right now?
You can act. You can get up.
All right, I'll get into the car if I can.
Okay.
Passenger side since I'm wobbly.
All right. And Cornwell, you're doing the same thing. You're getting the CIA car. Okay. All right. CIA, what are you doing?
So all 4 of us are in the car now?
Yes.
We're gone.
Okay.
I'm going to...
Actually, I was going to get into the car Cornwell and I were in.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I assumed Cornwell was dragging me back toward our
yeah,
car. But if I can get to our car,
Oh yeah, Cornwell, which car were you dragging him back to?
Whichever was closest.
They're both equidistant. I'm not gonna.
Then ours probably, so I wouldn't have to go through the backyard.
Okay. All right. So you're trying to shove him back into your car. All right. So it's Stillman. It's going to take them an extra round to get in position to drive away. So I assume are you going to wait for them to get in before you move the car?
I'm going to wait for them to get in. Can I dig around in the glove box to see if there's a flashlight?
Yeah, there is.
Great. I'm going to pull it out and hold on to it.
Okay.
Look around the car for inky blackness.
Okay. You don't see any this round. So let's see here. Let's see here. All right. So Cornwell, you're going to drive away.
I'm going to flip the inside light on and try and drive. I might need to make a drive check because I'm trying to drive while inspecting Gordon with the light on. So I'm trying to do 2 things at once to make sure he's not injured in any way. Since he just
Gordon's going to wave him off and tell him to focus on the fucking road.
Okay, so
watch the goddamn road.
One of you has to back up in order to get out. Both your cars are facing each other. So that would be at a -10 penalty to drive. So Cornwell,
it's 60, so 50.
All right, so you're going to back up.
Sure.
All right.
We are leaving.
Well, wang.
I wasn't listening yet.
Yeah. You rear end someone as you're backing up. One of the parked cars, a car alarm goes off. You can just say "fuck it" and just hit the pedal to the metal with one more drive test.
Still to -10.
So you're gonna make another drive test. Just keep. Oh fuck it! I need to get out.
I guess so.
Okay.
I'm muttering a cover story, I guess, sort of thing. We were on surveillance. We thought we saw somebody entering the premises. You had some sort of shock and collapse, and we drove to the hospital.
All right. They're driving away. Stillman, what are you gonna do? Stillman, are you gonna drive away as well?
I'm going to talk on mic for a couple of seconds, and then, yes, I'm going to drive away in a different direction, and I'm going to do all that tradecrafty stuff and try and make it look like...
You're not backing up, so you just drive away. You don't have to, and no one's chasing you as far as you can tell.
Someone's chasing me. So yeah. I'm gonna check for tails and all that good stuff.
All right. I'll roll alertness for you too, because you're not going to know the results. Good. All right, both of you can't spot anyone tailing you that you can perceive.
I feel good about this.
Unless Gordon tells him differently.
No one's tracking
Maybe
you.
we turn on the interior light
In these dimensions. Let's not. Let's not give locals a reason to pull us over. Let's take that chance until we can meet somewhere very well lit. can go back to Denny's.
You all rendezvous back at the Denny's in an hour. All of you quite rattled, just covered in sweat, just nervous. But yeah,
I'm gonna make a stop on our way back to the Denny's, and I'm gonna hit the drive-through liquor store.
Okay.
And I'm gonna buy a small flask of vodka.
All right.
I
It's
gonna
4 in the
need to
morning. Of course, there's drive-through liquor available.
Yeah, it's Tampa.
Yeah, it's Tampa. So yeah, you get that. And then you all meet at the Denny's. At 4:30 in the morning. So, what's your next move?
Moon over my hammy.
Agnes, the waitress, who clearly doesn't give a shit what kind of night you had, fills you with stale coffee and moons over my hammy. So yeah, you get your food on. But yeah, what's your next move as you're chowing away?
So it was Hamilton that got spooked.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That,
So I'm
that,
gonna-
that could've
All
gone
of you
better.
saw the entity, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit next to
Okay.
Hamilton in the booth, and I'd like to try and assess him. General health, and then a little bit of psychological well-being if I can.
Okay.
Just see.
What are your skills?
So I want to use first aid and
Okay.
psychotherapy. So first aid is 40,
Okay. And what's
like
psychotherapy?
30.
That's fine.
Yeah. Ask me about my mother again, I dare you.
How's your wife doing?
That just gets a glare. I don't know. How's yours? She doesn't talk to me anymore. So
My husband left me 10 years ago and took the kids.
sounds terrible.
Yeah.
So that could have gone better. Thanks for the bandages, by the way.
Good thinking on the high beams.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's so what have we learned tonight? Aside from I can't climb trees like I'm a teenager anymore.
Says the wife,
We need
the
to find
dad,
out
one of
whose
the
bedroom
kids.
that was.
Wife, dad, one of the kids.
Yeah.
Wife, dad, one of the kids.
Well, we know which bedroom we saw it in, right?
Yeah.
So now we just got to figure out whose bedroom that is. The mother
So-
wasn't covering anything, I don't think. So I think we can safely remove her from the equation.
The bedroom is on the second floor.
No, it's a one-story house.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it's a rancher or a rambler style.
Yeah. I have a
So-
blueprint if you really need it.
Oh, cool.
I don't know how. Well, actually, wait. Do I
Yeah,
have it?
I don't think we need to worry about it.
Yeah, no. It's a standard house.
Okay,
The bedroom is in the corner, front right corner or eastern.
Yeah, binoculars, and daylight and an open curtain will probably tell us whose bedroom that is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Actually, Markham gets a text back from the group. Sarah Garrison, possible connection to the group. No current address. We'll continue to research.
All right, I showed that to everyone.
they text you that now.
Well,
Timing is everything.
yeah.
All right. Well, we know light seems to discourage it. Oh, and on a personal note, don't let it touch you.
Didn't look good.
Well,
Like, don't let it touch you.
okay. Can we get flashbangs?
Oof, that would take some work and ups our
I know.
profile quite a bit if we use them.
I know it. We don't know how. Maybe more brightness equals more hurt on this thing. We don't know yet.
I think something we need to consider is if the vector's a member of the family, then there might be some complications.
Fair enough.
Wow.
We've already had a few of them. I don't know how many complications we can take.
Yeah.
One thing, how are you gonna? Well, I mean, you damaged a rental car, so
Yep.
I have warranty.
Did you pay the extra insurance?
Always. That's me.
Yeah. No, you always take the extra insurance on a rental.
We had to burn it out in the swamps, It was
Yep.
stolen by hillbillies. Not for me.
No, we can clean that up and claim it was hit in the parking lot. That's not too big a deal.
Okay.
How about the cop types? Come back tomorrow and ask them. Try to ask the
Did you
husband.
have any events last night?
Yeah, that too. Yeah, no.
Yeah. No, I think
No,
that's not a bad idea at all.
All right.
Okay. That's nothing wrong with that.
And this time do a walkthrough and find out whose bedroom that was.
Mm.
Call the husband. Call the husband tomorrow. Now that we have his number, so
Okay.
we can do that. Arrange a meeting. Go in and talk to them. What about you two, spookses?
I can try to occult up, is there some sort of shadow thing, overlaid person, hyperdimensional reaching into people thing?
Well, that would
I
be
can try it with my occult.
well, a cult. That remember, there's a difference between a cult and a natural. So
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like a cult is knowing legends about it or folklore or what have you, and then a natural.
Well, basically, I'd be trying to find, the imprecise human interpretation of what an unnatural.
Cornwall will wonder about whatever the hell hyperdimensional even means.
evil shadow thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Hypergeometry is a term used by Delta Green to describe things that are alien science, essentially.
Because they don't like the word magic.
Nope.
It upsets them.
It does upset them. That is a good point. All right, so you're all going back to your hotel rooms to sleep?
Oh, I don't know about sleeping, but I'm going back to my hotel room.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait until it's a little bit brighter. I can do my research from Denny's.
Okay. Everyone who decides to stay up loses 2 willpower. From just.
I'm going to spend those 2 willpower.
I'm
go
gonna
to
stay.
Likewise.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I'll sleep.
All right. You go back to your room and sleep. All right. So the who's contacting Tim, the father?
I will.
Okay. You give him a call.
Yeah.
Hello, Tim Bernier.
Good morning, Mr. Bernier. I don't know if Evelyn mentioned speaking to us yesterday. Agent Cornwell and Agent Hamilton dropped by.
Oh God, yeah. I'm glad you guys called. We had an incident last night.
Oh, did you? Well, I'm just wondering, is there a time it would be convenient for you to meet with us? Maybe talk about that incident and just get your impressions of what happened a couple of days ago?
Yeah, there's a there's a Waffle House near my place. We can meet. I could just have a late breakfast. I could step out for a bit. So
we could certainly do that, or we could come by when you're home.
That's
more convenient for you.
Well, I get home at 6.
Perfect. Well, why don't we meet? Say 7:30? Will that give you enough time to have dinner?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Well, we'll come over around 7:30. Shouldn't take up more than an hour of your time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Yeah.
No problem at all, Mr. Bernier. You're actually helping us out greatly with this.
Okay. All right. So you got that 7:30 tonight.
Human, read on him. Pretty genuine.
What's your human?
80.
Yeah. He's genuinely concerned now that there's, they heard some noises and the gate was open.
It seemed helpful or open to meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely not trying to lure you into an ambush at the, Waffle House over there.
I have to run a scenario where there's a huge shootout at a Waffle House.
I know, right? I kind of want to run I definitely need to run a Red Markets game where the Enclave is based on an old Waffle House.
See, we don't have them up here, so
nope. Actually, there is a thing called the Waffle House Index where,
what?
Cages.
Emergencies.
Basically, Waffle Houses, they set themselves up to basically survive anything. And so FEMA can gauge how bad a disaster is by how long it takes the Waffle House to open back up for business.
Yeah, I can't remember. Did you mention that on an RPPR episode?
I probably have.
I think you might have, because I ran across it not too long ago and I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah. It's a thing, they're very much a southern thing, and Midwestern. Like Missouri is about as far north as it gets for the most part.
I live in Alberta, so we don't worry about natural disasters. It's mostly just white walkers and polar bears.
Yep, Mythiqua.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna get you. So all right, so you have that tonight. What do you want to do in the meantime?
Okay. Let's see here. I don't know, guys. What do you got?
I assume you're reporting back to the
To the group?
to Delta Green about.
Oh
this.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you identified origin of vector?
Tonight.
All right. Do whatever it takes to destroy vector. Leave no evidence behind.
Mm-hmm.
Are you certain vector is if vector is not here? Then yeah. All right. The report further.
Yeah, establishing nature /identity of vector.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nature mission is not done. Yeah. All right. So you get that. So yeah, you got all day to kill if you want.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what I'm going to do with that.
Can we forward a message to Delta Green asking for, if they have any existing research on creepy shadow people who disappear when you shine light on them?
We will.
I don't. Is that something we can do? I don't know if we
can. You can make the request. You call the number that was on the real estate brochure, and you get a text message back from it saying forward nature of request. Then you get a message back, you saying you describe the creature as best you can. You get a message back saying we will consult existing case files. No ETA.
I'm so not used to the idea of the group being helpful.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't given you much. They said, yeah, no ETA.
No, but like being remotely helpful, where like asking questions doesn't pretty much mean there's going to be someone waiting in your hotel room with a gun.
They gave us a laptop.
Yeah, they gave you a $300 Best Buy laptop. It's great.
Yeah, that thing needs to die when we're done.
So I want to go shopping.
All right, yeah, shopping. That's great. What do you want to get?
Yeah, I want to hit a couple of sporting goods stores.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of Dairy Queen, I don't know, like a convenience store.
Okay.
And I'm going to spread out my purchases, all in cash. And I'm going to pick up some nice flashlights.
Okay.
Some nice little Gen Sport bags to throw stuff into. Pick up a couple of extra burners and first aid kits. And road flares.
Okay.
Cornwell is buying glow sticks and duct tape.
Glow sticks and duct tape. Great. Yeah.
Like a bag.
Sure.
Okay.
You get a bag of each. That's
Hooray.
fine. Let's see here.
Well, while we're at it, you guys want me to just go and grab a roll of plastic and a machete?
Yeah.
Curious.
Machetes are not entirely out of character for Florida.
Do you think
Nope.
you can get a hold of those, just stick in the back of the trunk? If we're going to contain the vector, those might be something we need to use.
I don't necessarily want to be found with a murder kit in the trunk, but yeah, we can figure something
We'll put
out.
it in the civvies truck. It's no fun to have it, right?
Yeah.
This
All right.
is an FBI car, to be
It's a rental. It's not like.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a rental.
No, I'm sorry, this conversation is going on in the FBI car. I mean,
Oh
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so you do some shopping. You get those supplies. Those are pretty cheap, so you don't have to make any rolls or anything to get them. And there's no restrictions on any of them. So that's fine.
All right.
Anything else, or are you just going to rest up?
I would like to. I'm trying to suss out a way to establish whether or not Sarah Garrison's actually in Tampa. Since we only had a cell phone.
Do you have computer science?
I don't have computer science, so I'm not going to find her by tracking her.
Would SIGINT help?
SIGINT would be perfect. You have SIGINT.
Oh, I have SIGINT.
Okay, what's your SIGINT at?
60.
60, all right.
That's better than me.
All right, with a 56 out of 60. When she called yesterday, you have the phone numbers. You can trace that, and you have access to it. You also have FBI credentials, so yeah, you can get into the,
All right.
So that call, she was in Chicago when she made that call.
Okay, so she's not in theater, so to speak. So I'll let the others know.
She is
She
not.
wasn't.
Yeah, yesterday.
She wasn't yesterday.
The
So,
woman you talked to was in Chicago.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, the phone you called was in Chicago yesterday.
And
Secrets and
the person on
lies.
the other end of the line, because that person responded to your questions, it clearly was not pre-recorded. So yeah, that you can ascertain as much as possible. You also find out the phone has been shut off since that call.
Okay. All right. So it went dark. Went dark right after we
Yes.
right after we poked her. That's great. All right. Watch out for a crazy lady with a gun. Okay.
I have 2 ex-wives to worry about already, and now 1 more.
That's the one.
All right. So what's next? You just gonna wait?
Unless somebody else has a suggestion, I'm tapped out until we talk to Tim.
Okay. In that case, the time rolls around pretty quickly. It gets evening, dark, nice and
Yeah.
dark.
Nice and dark. That's awesome.
Yep. So you knock on their house. You see Alex opens the door. He is a very tall man, very dressed in a nice polo shirt and pants, and shakes your hands firmly.
So can the civvies be waiting down the street in the car? Since Stallone was so
Sure.
quick with the lights the other day?
Sure.
All
And
right.
the undamaged car, yeah.
Yeah, in the undamaged car. Yes.
In fact, I guess you have to spend part of the other day replacing your car.
Yeah, actually, that would be fair. Yeah. So,
Getting new rentals.
you can make a forensics roll for me if you want to.
in fact,
Make
one
sure it
person will
doesn't
need
look
to-
like we rear-ended or backed into someone.
Yeah. This is a campaign and make somebody lose a point of a bond to deal with this rental bullshit. So,
Sand check.
Yeah, not a sand check, just a point off a bond. But we'll deal with that later. Or you don't have to worry about that because it's one shot. So
yeah.
So she is Evelyn is there, of course, and then Catherine there. And does not look like Chad is home. But they are clearly finishing up. You hear plates being stacked, water running in the sink in the kitchen, and they welcome both the agents in. I assume it's just the FBI agents who are going in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cornwell, if you want to take before we went in, if it's all right, Ross, I would have suggested Cornwell take the lead in the conversation.
Okay.
And I'm going to watch the family and kind of like look around the house, like not obviously poke around the house.
Okay.
But just try and get a feel for the layout, get a glimpse, we'll get to that. One thing I'll suggest, Cornwell, is following up on like when the door was marked, find out whose bedroom is on that corner because they might have had a view of the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll lead with just acting, we're checking in. Hello, how are you?
Yeah. Sure. You make some small talk. Let's see here. Hamilton, you actually get something very quickly on. There is a drawing on the floor. Looks like a child made it. Crayons. It shows a little girl holding hands with a tall black silhouetted figure. You see the word sweetness on it. It is on the floor. It is on a coffee table in the living room.
Nice. Okay, it's on the coffee table in the living room?
Yeah.
Okay. Son of a gun, I actually almost took ASL as one of my extra languages. So close.
If it's a
Should've done
one
it.
shot, because this is a one shot, we'll use the Knight's Black Agent rule and say you can you have left your foreign languages blank and then just fill them in the first time it comes up.
If you're cool with it, sure. It's
Yeah,
not gonna blow plot.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, of course not.
All right. Well, I'll let Cornwell do the talking.
All right, Cornwell, what do you want to? Yeah. So that's what you noticed while Cornwell's talking. Cornwell, what do you want to talk about?
I guess I'll just leave it with, we're just checking back on and had a few additional questions.
Okay.
Point was raised to ask, we weren't sure, does anyone have a bedroom or anything that faces the door or anywhere near it that might have seen someone?
Yeah, Catherine. Catherine does.
Do you mind if mind if I speak with Catherine? about that, if that's right.
Yeah, Evelyn says, yeah, I can translate for you.
If you don't mind, actually, I can speak directly with Catherine.
Oh, wow, I didn't know agents were taught in that. That's very yeah.
I'm
Not part of our
That's
formal
good
training,
practice
but-
for her, so she learns. It's good for her learning it. So yes,
Good practice for me.
yeah.
Hopefully she'll be patient with me.
yes, she's very patient. So you see, Catherine, both of you. Let's see, you both have human at 80, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Cornwall, you can tell she looks a bit tired, as though she hasn't been getting much sleep lately.
Mm.
Okay. I'll if you don't mind, I'll sign to Catherine, hello, and then I'll say, did you have trouble sleeping last night?
She says, I was let's see here. Well, I was
So I only
talking
have it
to
at 40, so I'll have to go slow.
Okay. It's because I was talking to Sweetness.
Oh, who's I'll sign who's Sweetness.
At this point, Evelyn interrupts. She's watching this going, oh, that's her imaginary friend. There's a mean dog next door that barked a lot and it disappeared. And she made up this imaginary friend that took it away. Sweetness.
I'll say, oh, okay, I see, and
What did you say he was made of? And she said, it's made of the things between the stars. Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I will try and drag Evelyn away talking about animal life so that Gordon can talk with her a little more privately.
Yeah,
Just get her engaged with.
Actually, you
the dog
realize-
is barking.
Evelyn is not going to let her out of her sight. You're not going to.
No, and that's fine. I'll sign to Catherine. Sweetness sounds very interesting. How did you meet him?
Sweetness is she, and she visits me in my dreams, and I talk to her all night long.
What will I say? Sorry, I'm just thinking about the right way to do this without freaking out the mother. Did you ask Sweetness to take the dog away?
No, the dog was barking so much, I complained about it, and then Sweetness said, I'll deal with it. You don't worry your little head about it. And then they stopped barking.
Aha. When did you meet Sweetness?
Couple weeks ago. I was scared the first night. I woke mom and dad up, and Evan says, yes, she did have a nightmare that one night. What does this have to do with the case?
Building rapport and getting a feel for things. Like you said, the vandalism was probably committed
What's
by
your
children.
persuade at?
70.
70.
80. Sorry.
80. All right. Well, she buys that. All right.
And I'll just say to sort of further reassure it, it's just to get a feel for what's going on. Children often develop imaginary friends in response to situations at school, for example.
Oh.
So this is context.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she said a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to think about the right way.
Right about when the mark was made, or maybe
Yeah,
shortly before.
if I have a notepad in my pocket,
Sure.
I'll draw that symbol that was on the door.
Okay.
And I'll just say to Catherine, like, have you seen this anywhere else?
She kind of stops and looks up at her mom. Her mom looks at you as like, let's see. She says, I need to do my homework. And says, okay. And Evelyn tells her, okay. That's enough.
Yep. Human, did mom or daughter shut down that line of questioning?
The daughter, but the mother is clearly uneasy because she recognized the symbol as the one on the door.
Yep.
So they're uneasy, but you don't know why the daughter's on. You remember the mother said specifically, Evelyn said specifically, they did not let her look at the door.
Oh, okay.
They didn't want them to be worried about it. So
I didn't want them to be worried about it.
Yeah.
Well, and the way I asked it was fine because I didn't say like, "Oh, this was on the door. Did you see it?"
Nope.
Okay. I'll turn to Evelyn.
Mm-hmm.
Evelyn, does Catherine have a favorite place to play? Like, does she play outside on her own?
Not usually. Well, there was a lizard that she saw in the backyard once. It scared her, so she stopped going out there. She kind of spends a lot of time in her bedroom now. Although I haven't seen the lizard myself, so
Understandably, you
I
said
mean,
she's been studying quite a bit.
Yeah.
But she doesn't play outside the yard. No parks or anything.
No, the animals kind of scared her. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's not many animals here anyway. I mean, they're used to. Yeah. I think the exterminators came.
Oh well, fair enough.
Plural?
I'll leave Cornwall to talk to Evelyn.
Yeah. Well, Cornwell's talking to Tim right now. Is there
Tim,
anything you want to
yeah,
ask
perfect.
him? Tim?
Tim, is that the
Oh,
father?
sorry. Yeah, Tim. Cornwell,
Alex.
you're talking to Tim is the father.
Okay.
Tim Bernier. Yeah, sorry. The father.
Hello, Mr. Bernier. You have a lovely home.
Thank you.
We're just, building rapport, as my partner said.
Mhm.
We're just looking to, is there, your wife said she hadn't noticed anything. Is there you've been driving in and out, have you seen anybody out in the street or children lingering on corners where they usually don't?
No, but I got some security cameras today that look out onto the street. I put them up on the gate, so I'll be able to see anybody creeping around the house.
Prudent. Has there been a history of anything? Have you ever talked to neighbors and said anything similar in the past? Maybe not necessarily vandalism, but
your dog went missing next door. But I mean, that guy, that was like some sort of pit bull mix or something. That dog was barking all the damn time. It probably just got loose.
I see. I'm kind of at a loss.
Okay. Well, you can just kill time,
Yeah,
we can kill a little bit of time. So the problem is, the girl's gone to her room, hasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Okay.
Actually, I'll say, Cornwell, you could have looked at the room to be on the pretext that you could have wanted to see what part of the gate was visible from the window.
Okay.
So you
I'll
could
ask him
tour,
to show me.
like Tim, the father will show you while that was going on, to show you the Catherine's bedroom. So you go to the bedroom.
That would be perfect.
And you look around. Let's see here. What are you looking for?
Was it 60? Well, any more obvious drawings of little girls with Slender Man-esque figures standing around them?
Yeah, there's a
drawn
couple.
on the walls.
There's a couple.
Okay, well, that's comforting. I'll browse the bookshelves, just sort of cast over them, see what titles she's reading nowadays.
Vermis Mysterious, no.
Honest King Colton.
Yeah. Let's learn Aklo. So
Revelations of Glacky, Volume 7.
Illustrated. Coloring book edition.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty basic stuff. I mean, there's nothing unusual, that jumps out at you. Other than
how's the view
drawings.
of the door?
Yes, she would have a view of the gate and the front yard. She does not have a view of the front door. The front door is recessed from this view. So
Okay.
All right, it's going to be time for one of us to talk to the cops, I think.
All right. So you all leave. You got more information.
Yeah.
So what is next move?
All right. So the girl's the epicenter.
As we're getting back in the car, Cornwall to say to Gordon, we're not gonna. A kid.
Gordon pulls a cigarette out of a pack of Marlboros and says, I quit 20 years ago. I think it's time one of us spoke to the police. We need to know what they know.
All right. Start the car.
Okay. So while you get back together, you drive off. Let's take a look. So you're going to talk to the police, huh? Under what pretext?
Thinking about that. Best way to present it is that we have no interest in taking over the investigation, but we think it might have connections to an old case from a few years ago.
Okay.
And we'd just like to know if they've got any, are they sure this is kids? Did the perpetrators leave any kind of physical evidence behind? Do they have any kind of identifying information that maybe the Bureau could help them run?
Okay.
That sort of thing.
Okay. This will require a persuade check because the cops are a little more suspicious, especially after.
Oh
last
yeah,
night.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Man, that's a success. So you managed to contact a detective. What information did you want specifically? Sorry.
I'm I'm wondering if they have any leads on the perpetrator of the vandalism.
No. No leads whatsoever.
No fingerprints, no hair, no fiber, nothing.
Nope. They did do a lab test on the substance found on the door. It was like animal blood is what they did, and animal tissue is what he says. Several mammal and reptile. So probably just like he speculates roadkill.
No other incidents of this type in the neighborhood or in recent history?
In the neighborhood. Not in the neighborhood. 2 years ago, someone burned swastika, spray painted swastikas on a Jewish family's house. But this symbol they don't have it on file.
Normal high school proto-Satanist bullshit.
He thinks it's probably some European metal band's symbol and some get high on meth, just wanting to get on their Instagram or whatever.
Yeah. Crank themselves up and go and do something they think is funny.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that centers everything around the house then.
Okay. You did get a message back from Delta Green. Garrison confirmed connection to the group circa 10 years ago. More details. No other details available at this time. No ETA on further information.
Okay, so Garrison's confirmed connected to the group.
Yes, to Delta Green.
Not the program.
To Delta Green, whatever Delta Green you're working for.
All right, so she would have been 2006, 2007 kind of thing. So
yeah.
So legit days.
Yeah. There's our link.
Yeah, it looks like, but that means we have to find a way to contact her, and she's gone dead. So.
Well, she's definitely not in Tampa. Well, her
phone wasn't in Tampa as of yesterday.
Right. Well, you do. Yeah, you can tell that was her on the that was a person on the phone. That was not like a relay or anything fancy like that.
But response to the Delta Green thing, friendly or in the program?
Friendly.
Okay, so. All right, so we need to find a way to contact Sarah Garrison, guys.
How many hours between you calling her and the shadow thing showing up was there?
Probably about 5 to 6 hours. Not enough to travel across the country.
Yeah, and she's not the shadow thing, I don't think.
You can give me a bureaucracy check to see if she FBI agents. Or criminology checks. 33. You can check to see. You can do a quick check on her. She's not listed of taking any flights to Chicago or out of Chicago, or so.
How long does it take to drive from Chicago to Tampa?
Jesus, like
more than 5 or 6.
Yeah, no. I'm not thinking she's directly connected to the shadow thing. I'm just thinking that if I got a call like that about my kids, I'd be en route. Okay.
Actually, no. You got a critical success on a check. It would be an 18-hour drive.
It'd be an 18-hour drive.
According to Google Maps, which is infallible. So the you also find out she, with a quick search, she is retired on a pension from the Chicago PD, partial pension, and she left the Chicago PD for disability. She from mental illness. Let's see here. So
okay. So proposal to the squad. We find a way to contact Sarah and tell her we need to talk to her.
Yeah, she failed a psych evaluation, and then she lost her job.
Yeah, it's not surprising. She probably went off about seeing some sort of horrible shadow thing. So what do you guys think? We find a way to contact her, use a one-time email address, set a place and time to meet?
Well, what do you think she does for us, Gordon?
Well, she may be able to help us gain access to her daughter, or she may be able to give us context that lets us sort this out
But
without having to burn down a house and wipe out a family.
Can you look at her financials?
That's not my field of expertise.
Anyone with criminology can.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Because she's gotten rid of her phone.
Yeah. Well, she got rid of the phone you called her on. I mean, she may have gotten a new phone. She has very little in her bank account. She is in deep in credit card debt. Her pension is not currently. She doesn't. Well, she's in credit card debt. She just makes cash withdrawals from the credit card, or she did. So you don't have any purchases. You don't know where she's buying things. Everything's in cash, but she's deep in debt, and her pension is not nearly enough to cover her expenses. So you do have several addresses. Looks like she's been hopping from place to place in the last couple of years.
Does she have a car?
None listed in her name. Yeah. So whatever she's doing, she's been on a downward spiral since she left.
Yeah.
And now she's off grid, basically.
Yeah, you'd have to go to Chicago to have a decent chance of finding her. Unless you wanted to try and contact her. You do have several email addresses that are associated with her, like with her credit card. There are several phone numbers. There's several addresses. So it would be legwork.
Is it possible to check further into the event that what was it you said she'd originally left Tampa? I thought was there something in her past? No, sorry. That was Karen.
There was you find her. There was one news story that quoted her when she was working for the Chicago Police Department as an officer, in which she explained why the bodies of a group of people taken out of a drug den, their bodies were severely damaged, not just by fire, but apparently by violence because she claimed the building partially collapsed on them.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to establish a timeline here of possibly find some connection between the mother's previous history with DG and possibly having some connection to her daughter's current affliction. Do we think there could be any connection between the two, that we could look into that previous event, maybe find something out from there if we can't find her herself?
If you want if you want to look into the event, okay. So you make you call the number, and you relay that request. So there is a case file available in paper. There's no documentation. It is in Chicago. If you go there, I will give you information on how to retrieve that file.
So I'm going to start doing some legwork on the phone numbers and addresses that we've pulled for her. I also want to take a look at the phone number that we got from John, or the briefing guy. Just because it's a piece of information we haven't done anything with. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw bureaucracy stick at things and try and get information. SIGINT. Yeah, which one's better? They're exactly the same. So SIGINT and bureaucracy are both 40.
Okay.
I'm going to look up catabasis.
Catabasis.
Whichever.
Yeah. All right. So the phone number you got is a burner number. That's probably like a voice IP thing, like something you set up from Google Voice or something like that. Something that can be easily, you can't trace its origin point. So you're sending messages to a voice box that can also send texts and that kind of thing. But it's outside of that, it's untraceable.
Okay.
How's she getting her pension?
Yeah, but that's how you can find with some legwork. You do find there's a list, like I said, a list of email addresses, a list of phone numbers. You could some of these. She's obviously bouncing between these in order to keep getting her pension checks, or to make sure that the direct deposit goes through. She's switching bank accounts a lot too, so they can't just you know, what do they call it when they garnish? They can't just garnish it for her debts. So, but you do have several numbers that if you send a message to all of them, she would probably get it. But in terms of tracing it, you would have to actually just either for the phone numbers, you can find out what cell towers they ping to and then trace it manually. Someone with the FBI credentials could get the ability to do that now. The addresses, you would have to just track down and talk to whoever's the landlord there or something like that. So you have a way of contacting her if you wanted to try and arrange a meeting or something, because you specified you wanted to do that earlier. But to trace her location, you can only do so much without actually going to Chicago and doing some legwork. Because she's obviously making herself hard to find, and you have to just go and talk to people and show her a photo and that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yep. Chicago seems a little out of scope is the only concern I have for now.
Well, I mean, it's to find the origin of the vector. You don't have jurisdictional issues in Delta Green.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
What do you guys want to do?
I mean, we could feasibly go to Chicago, can't we? We're not on a timetable here, are we? We don't think, unless we think.
No, there doesn't seem to be like an escalation of what's going on. It wouldn't be a bad idea for two of us to stay behind and keep an eye, while two of us go to try and track down the mother. Right? Like this is the thing is that like we have a simple solution, but it's a horrible one.
What's the simple just for the purpose of the people listening to this, what is that? I would like you to state with
the basic Delta Green plan A.
Yeah,
kill everybody, burn it to the ground, make sure there's no forensic evidence, go home.
All right, yeah, that would definitely require some sand checks.
It would require some sand checks. It's the price you pay, right? But do the unthinkable to avoid the impossible.
Yep.
But
I don't think the family are the crazy cultists in this scenario.
I don't think crazy cultists are necessarily the problem. Something's attached itself to the girl. Either we break the attachment or we break the girl. So we need to find out what the attachment is and break it.
Okay.
Right. And I think the mother might be the key to that attachment because those bodies were buried. Based on the description of the story. Too. So I want
to read the after action report before I make any judgment on that.
Bodies. Chicago. It is not here, and they were they do not scan things and put them online in Delta Green.
No, but that's the thing, right? We need to know more about what happened with the mother, because if the mother somehow connects, and the daughter is 10.
Yeah. So you have several approaches.
Simple math. Going based on what we know about the daughter, was the mother pregnant when that incident happened?
No, she had given birth several years.
She'd given. Well, the daughter's 10.
Yeah,
the event happened 10 years ago, so a couple months before.
Yeah, no, she was. The daughter's 10. Actually, no, it happened after. Let me look at the timeline. Yeah.
Yep. Just like I said, just doing the math. Was she pregnant when it happened or not?
Let's see here. Well, she divorced it wasn't 10 years ago when that she divorced in 2008, I believe. No, she divorced. I have the exact timeline here. She divorced in the news reports in 2008. She divorced in 2009. The child is 10 years old, so the child was born in 2007. 2007, yeah. 2007,
okay. Yeah.
And the son is even older than that. So he is 16.
Okay. All right. So we have a little girl with a demonic best friend. Yeah, I think someone goes to Chicago and finds out more about the mother.
Okay. Who's going to Chicago?
What are the mother's debts like? Like how much money is she?
Probably about 10, 20 grand at this point. She is it's all cash purchases for the most part. I mean cash in terms of withdrawals, but yeah, she's at least, I'll say $18,000 in debt.
Okay. Ross?
Yeah.
Racking my memory of my conversation with the girl.
Mm-hmm.
did she have like any jewelry or keepsakes or anything like that?
No. No.
Okay.
Well, no, I'll say yeah, she had an Elsa necklace.
Yeah, so like she had like a typical kids thing, but nothing
Yeah.
that looked like it was maybe given to her by family.
No,
Cornwell,
nothing.
when you were going through the room, did you notice like an ornament or a decoration, something that looked sentimental?
Nope. He did notice another drawing of sweetness, but that was it.
And was there anything special about the content of that drawing?
He did not look at it closely because the father was right there, and he did not
Yep.
want.
Were the drawings made with any colors from outer space? Curiosity, or
Nope. Sadly, yeah, there was not like a portal to Carcosa in the corner. There's not a wardrobe that says Carcosa on the side.
well, I'm relieved.
Yeah. Yeah. No mannequins. No puppets. Nothing creepy like that. So, it was all good in the hood. Yeah. Okay.
I'll go to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Steelman's going to Chicago. Who else is going to Chicago?
Markham will go.
Okay. So Team Civ is going. Team
All
FBI
right.
is hanging
Team
out in
Civ,
Tampa.
are you checking your guns to bring over, or are you going to leave them behind?
All right. I'm AFK for a moment. If the screaming starts, just let me know in the text.
Okay.
Stillman does not have a gun.
Okay.
I'll give the drop piece back, but I'll put my actual gun in checked.
Okay. Chicago does have more restricted firearms laws.
Yeah.
So
I want to try and scrape some money together from various accounts I have access to.
mhm.
If we can get a meeting with her, we'll try and bring her in.
Sure.
Bring her over to our side, and the first letter in loyalty is M.
What do you want to? Let's say, I guess you could use persuade or SIGINT to try and craft that message. You're doing Can you want to go back to the opera kind of message, kind of coded? With a little green triangle in it.
I want to do that, and but I also want to try and like let her know that there'll be some money in it for her, and I want to make sure that I can back that up.
Okay.
I suspect I have access to accounts, so
yeah, you do. Where do you want to set this up? I mean, sending the message is free, obviously. Where do you want to have this meeting?
I want to drop.
Starbucks?
Well, I'm gonna drop a. I want to set up a dead drop with a phone.
Okay.
Program a burner phone programmed with a single number in it. That is another one of my burner phones.
Okay.
And so once we land in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick some suitably public, Trafalgar Square kind of place where I could stash it and let her know that she should pick it up there and call the number that's on it.
Okay. All right. You send that. I say it takes you probably. It takes. You have to wait all right. You set that up. You don't know how long it'll take for you to get that message back or for her to reply. If she does,
She's gonna hang out in Chicago.
Well, you do. They did tell you if you're in Chicago, you could get the case file.
Oh, okay.
All right, definitely reading that.
All right. So you send that message to the number you got on the brochure, and they tell you to go to a particular location on the edge of Chicago. That you look up. The place used to be a crematorium, but is no longer in business.
That bodes well.
So, do you want? And then when you're there, request to see, to go inside and request to see a menu. Just say it out loud. Inside the building.
Yeah, this. I'm down. I'm a spook. I'm okay. Let's do this.
Okay. All right.
Good, Markham. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
I was Oni before I was a professor.
Thanks. You guys are great.
All right. So the
Team
two of you go
players.
there. It's in a very dilapidated area, but there's no buildings nearby. Like, it looks like every building around this crematorium has been razed, just demolished. So there's just empty fields overgrown with weeds. You don't even hear a dog barking in the distance. It's very quiet. The building appears to be falling apart. So I assume you guys go in during the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you go in during the day, and so who's going to say it?
I'd like to see a menu.
All right. Both of you. Yeah, let's see here. Markham, you hear a metal creaking coming from below. What do? Do you go downstairs?
I guess.
Downstairs, you walk down the creaking steps, and you see one of the crematoriums, one of the furnaces. The door is wide open. Inside, you can see a bit of paper sticking out of it. You go over and look at it.
I'll grab it.
You go over. There's a dossier there. It looks old. It's there's dirt, and you see there's it looks like a fingerprint, but the finger is the mark is very wide and long, as though not quite a human made it, or maybe he just smudged it. That's clearly, but it looks. You try not to think about it.
Yep.
And there's a thick, inside the dossier, there's a smattering of paper. And then there is a handwritten note on top of it saying, please return do not leave Chicago with this. Please return to this building before the next full moon. Okay.
Damn it.
All right. So the two of you take it out. And you see there is a label on it. It says Working Group M. Operation. Let's see here. Floating Stone. And you start reading. So, yay! Both of you give me sand checks. Or actually, I'll do that. Or one of you is rolling your. Stillman, you're rolling your dice, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I
Go
got
for
a 45 out of 60 something.
Okay. Let's see here. Markham, what's your current sanity?
68.
68. All right, you're fine. So you don't lose any sanity. But Operation Floating Stone turned out to is a group apparently involving several out-of-towners, Working Group M, and a local who is referred to by the letter G. G does this, G did this. And G informed the group about a cult that was, using their something in order to liquidate criminal rivals, in order to just cause people to disappear. And the notes are fragmented and scattered, and there's a lot of just missing people. There's probably about 50 missing people files in here. That makes up the bulk of the case. But then they talk about action. There's a plan. There's a particular building, which you recognize from the address as the one that was the drug den that burned down. And then there is there are particular marks, and it says plant charge, charges, circle here, 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 and here. And from this, you can tell that they just fucking went in and killed everybody. And then is recovery, stone, yaws, green box. G will store this stone in a green box.
Jesus. The mother had whatever this stone was that was letting them wipe out the other gangs.
Yeah.
Harrison, G. I mean,
Seems likely.
so this is what you've been doing for the last 12 hours, reading through this, trying to make sense of it. At this point, you two get a call from the mother, from Sarah, the phone you gave her.
Which two?
Stillman does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spook.
Uh,
I had to step out for a moment.
hello.
Yeah, you want me to come in and see the back in from the cold? Yeah, the work always needs to be done, right?
We need to talk to you about something that you put away for us
Um,
10 years ago.
yeah, of course.
You
Sure.
still have access to that location?
Yeah, of course.
Where should we meet?
She gives you an address.
Okay. What time of day is it?
Right now it's night. You come right now.
Let's meet tomorrow afternoon. Let's meet there tomorrow afternoon, about 3:00.
That's no good for me.
What time then?
Now,
I know you have a very demanding schedule.
let's go now.
Human,
Okay. What's your human check?
60.
60. Okay.
I do not make it.
Hold on.
Oh.
I may do
Ross
with
is
that.
being sneaky.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's being all secretive.
Yeah, I am being secretive. All right.
Secretive.
Don't
Yeah.
mess with the sneaky GM.
Secretive.
Yes. So she doesn't read as a blatant lie. No, I mean it seems fine.
How are your dodge and
definitely
awareness
wants to
rolls
meet
as
you.
a backup plan?
Yep.
Yeah, she wants to meet you. You don't feel like she's being deceptive.
Yeah, all right, let's just get this done.
All right, she's
All
only
right.
talked to you, right? So
Yes.
Are
She
you
knows that
informing
I'm here. I haven't
Are
said
you
anything
informing
about anyone
Team
else.
Phoebe?
Yeah, so Markham, you heard all of that.
mhm.
Let's quick Google Maps that location and see what kind of death trap we're walking into.
So distrusting.
Right.
It's another residential neighborhood outside of Chicago. It's also pretty dilapidated. Kind of isolated area. Not a lot of people around. It would be a house.
All right, so we'll relay the details of this to Team FBI.
Okay.
Let them know that I have a meet scheduled with G, and Markham's going to cover me. And let's go from there.
Sounds good. Did you give us the gist of what's in the case file?
Yes. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I'm not going to send pictures or anything.
No.
Because they told us to keep
Very.
it in Chicago.
Yeah, this is very very circumspect. But
Yeah, and
G has a thing. We think thing is important. Meeting with
Yeah.
G.
CG run.
Okay.
CS die. Let's.
I'm advising
Okay.
that her daughter is now in contact with one of the squishy friendly shadow friends.
My response will be be careful. Be careful. Make it clear that G may be a danger to her own. G may be a danger to her own. We are not.
Yep.
In all caps. It's a lie, but whatever.
So we should we return the file before we go to the meet?
Yeah.
Crematorium at night? I don't know. Markham, you picked it up. It's your call.
You put it back in the hole.
No, you.
Let's keep it. We might need it.
All right, you hold on to it then.
At least don't
I
bring
will.
it to the meet.
I'm not bringing it to the meet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we will split up when we get near the location.
Wait, first you're going to the crematorium?
No, we're not. We decided to not go to the crematorium. We're gonna stash the file someplace safe-ish.
Okay, your hotel room. You can put it in a little safe.
They put it in a little safe.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, no, nothing can go wrong this way.
It's those little asides that keep the blood
I
pressure
rigged
up.
the safe to blow with some thermite. No, wait, wrong character. So that we should head towards. I figure we take a look at our Google Maps. We figure out a sort of flanking approach to this location as best we can, and then we sneak up to it separately.
I'm not really.
Hopefully, okay. I'm kind of sneaky, but they're expecting to meet me.
Well,
It's
it's not weird for a person to be walking the street necessarily.
Yeah. It's kind of, you get the sense it's the kind of neighborhood people aren't going to ask too many questions about anybody doing anything late at night.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to, dress down a little bit. So I don't stand out too terribly, but then, let's, you have a gun, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. Try not to hit me. And I will head to the meet.
Okay. So you get in the neighborhood. You're both in the same car, I assume?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So it's a residential house. Do you just want to park directly in front of it or walk in or what?
I'll get out a block away.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So you get out a block away. And are you just walking to it?
Yeah, slowly.
Okay. Wait, both of you, or you're both walking to it, or were you sneaking or running or what?
Yeah. Well,
I think the idea is that she doesn't know I'm here.
No.
Yeah. So we're trying to drop Markham off so that he can just be a guy in the neighborhood while I actually go for the meet.
Okay. So Markham, you're trying to hide essentially.
Well,
or are you just hiding them? Okay, you're hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're walking directly to the house. You're not Stillman.
Stillman is walking directly to the house. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not going to sneak. Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look at your character sheet. Stillman. All right. Let's take a look at your skills. All right. All right. I will make a roll for you.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you what it is. All right. You get up to the house. The lights are off. I assume you're walking straight up to it. Are you going to knock on the door or just try the doorknob?
We'll knock on the door.
Okay. You hear a voice coming from inside, saying, the door's open.
Okay. Can I stand off to the side and kind of
the voice sounded a little, something was off about it. It's a little like person is not saying it very loudly, almost, it was a kind of tinny too.
Like it was coming through a speaker?
Yeah.
That might be it. What do you do?
I'm gonna walk. Is there like a side door or like a mudroom on the side? Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna go over there and try and get a look in.
Okay. All right. You walk over there. Markham, what are you doing? Are you just watching her?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're watching Stillman, and Stillman goes over to the side room and looks inside. And Stillman, the house explodes.
Nice.
So you were not in the house, so you're not instantly killed. But the house was filled with natural gas, and then something ignited it. So we'll say that's a d6 of damage. That is 6 points of damage. You are knocked on your ass.
Ow.
Jesus.
So
Is that a
you,
sand check?
yeah, definitely violence. Someone tried to kill you. You make that, so that's only 1 point.
But I still lost a point.
Yeah, and you were stunned for the round. So that was your action. Markham, what are you gonna do? You're blinded for a moment because again the house exploded and you were watching it. Actually, give me a dodge check. What is your
My dodge is
dodge?
pathetic.
Okay. Yeah, so that's not so 55 is a critical failure.
Oh, Jesus.
You're farther away, but
Really
shrapnel
bad.
hits you for 1 point of damage.
Oh, okay.
You're farther away.
Just
So
waiting
yeah,
for the stove lands on you.
yeah, no, that would have been I'm not that sadistic. And
What are the odds?
Garrison has limited options. But you're yeah, so you're struck by a bit of shrapnel. You can feel your face bleeding. But you can still act because you were far enough away. Actually, no, you critically failed. You're knocked on your feet as well.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look. Who has the highest dex? You have a dex of 12. Stillman has a dex of 11. And she has a dex of something. All right. Markham, what are you gonna do next? This is round 2. You're laying on your back, looking up, kind of stunned by what just happened. Markham?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm stunned, I'm
No,
gonna
it's the new
try to
round.
get up.
You're on your back.
Oh.
You're no longer stunned.
okay. I try to get up.
All right, you get up. What are you gonna do? Are you just go over to help your agent? Draw a weapon? Do you have a weapon?
I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw my cell phone and immediately text at Team FBI.
Okay. So you're texting. All right, great job.
Well,
Love this Florida weather.
That's your first action. That was your action. You're texting.
Yes,
Stillman,
sunshine.
what are you gonna do?
Can I act?
You can't act. You're only stunned for 1 hour. You're knocked. You're in the side yard of the house.
Is there a car nearby?
There's a car parked maybe 30 or 40 feet away from you on the street.
I'm gonna run and dive under it.
All right, that is definitely going to be
Undercover.
alertness. I mean, not alertness, athletics. Bleh.
Yeah, no.
And your athletics is 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at how I did up this character, I'm
Yeah.
definitely swapping 1 or 2 of the extra skills.
All right,
We're
so
all
your
very out of shape.
alertness is a 30. So let's take a look at that.
And my athletics is a 30. My alertness is a 7.
I know you have to make an alertness test too.
Oh.
All right, so you don't
all
see
good.
anything coming. All right. All right, what are you doing next, Markham? You're beginning to text your message. You got your phone out last round. This round you can text a message. What is the message going to be?
G is the vector.
G is a vector. All right.
Set up in Chicago.
Send. All right, that's your action. Let's see here. You're not in cover yet, Stillman. What are you going to do?
I'm continuing to try and get undercover.
All right. You get into cover. At least you think you do.
Sure.
Let's see here. Oh, you make an alertness check. Let's see if that's opposed by a stealth check. That is not. You actually see a woman coming up on you. She has a clear line of sight on you, and she is pointing a very large revolver at you. But you made your alertness check, so you get a dodge check. So,
Cool.
yeah.
That's at base 2.
All right. Was that 20 or 30?
30.
30. All right. Well, let's see if she hits with her 44 revolver. Oh, she does. A 31.
Don't worry, the first hole's only a little one.
Yeah.
I only have 4 hit points left.
No.
Oh.
Let's see here. And you rolled a 73 to dodge. Well, I could always roll a 1 for damage. So let's take a look. And that is a 9. Still,
I'm down.
you are dead. You're shot in the chest. Markham, make a sand check. What's your sand at?
68.
68. Well, it's 60. It's one less now. You hear a gunshot and see a woman standing over Stillman, sneaking up, holding a very large revolver. And Stillman crumples to the ground as she was hiding against a car. So, what do you do?
Well, she can probably obviously see me.
She seems to be focused. It's your action. You could drop the phone for free and draw your pistol this round.
Oh, shit. Yeah, do it.
Okay, you draw your pistol, and you'll get a free dodge check. She does see you, and she misses with her gun on her second. Just the second shot goes wide. She rolled a 59, so you don't have to dodge. You can return fire this round if you want.
I would like to return fire.
What is your firearms at?
50.
50. All right. You miss as well. 57. So she is going to keep firing again. Because guess what? How much sand she has? It's not a positive number. So she gets a 13. What is your dodge?
20.
20. All right.
Or 30.
30. Well, a 71 is not that. So
at least I got the text off.
you did get the text off. You're only hit for 4 points of damage. Do you have more than 2 hit points?
I do.
All right.
I have now down to 5 hit
All right.
points.
What do you want to do? Do you want to return fire again?
I would like to disengage.
Okay. Let's see. You can make athletics or dodge, whatever is higher.
Oh, Jesus. They're the same.
Okay.
30.
All right. You get a 4. You get it fully into cover. She cannot shoot at you this round. But guess what? She's not fucking running away. She is going to try and catch up with you. She fails. She starts staggering down there. She is wheezing. Whoever she is not in good health. So you can act again. You can if you make another check, you will lose her. She will be unable to catch up to you before the authorities get here, because there's been a house exploded and a gunshot, and multiple gunshots. So that is definitely enough to get the police here, and fire trucks. Or you can return fire with a plus 20 bonus since you have the drop on her now.
The odds of me getting another under 30 is poor. I'll shoot her.
Okay. That fell off. Sorry. You get a 5, and so she does not do that. So you're using a standard handgun?
Yeah, it was a medium pistol.
Medium pistol, so that's a D10, I believe, right?
Yep, D10.
All right. I will use the dice stream to do that. That is 9 points of damage. She is barely conscious. You shoot her straight in the chest. She staggers and falls to the ground. She is still conscious, and she can see you. So she will take off another. She will try and forego any dodge to try and shoot you again. Let's see here. She does make it with a 17. And you fail your dodge. So let's take a look.
Oh, man.
That is a 7. I believe that kills you as well. All right.
I now regret my joke about saying we couldn't survive that many more complications.
Yeah. She staggers out. At this point, I'll give her a 10% chance to make it out of the scene without being killed. She does not, or without being detected. She is detected by firefighters and police. She attempts to shoot her way out and is gunned down. As she does not really have much in the way of sense anymore. So FBI agents, sand checks for you both.
Yep.
As you learn about this, you both, let's see here.
Shootout in Chicago.
Cornwell, you don't lose any. You're like, well, glad I didn't take that flight. But Hamilton, you lose 3 as you like. Oh shit, we really fucked up. We really thought the vector was wrong. So you have, let's see here. Delta Green just tells you to go at this point. They want you to minimize your profile. They will try and send someone else to pick up the pieces unless you yeah. What is your final message to the cell?
Final message to the program.
Yeah, for this mission.
Vector was present in Chicago. Can travel. She was killed.
Okay.
Well, like in the police report, was she killed or is she hospitalized?
Yes, she is dead. They killed her. She only had 3 hit points left. She was going to bleed out anyway.
Yeah.
We should go and collect the remains, the file and stuff.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
Chicago was Vector. We'll clean up.
Actually, no, you're not done with the mission yet, because what happens is,
okay.
I was going to say, should one of us remain behind to keep an eye on?
They tell you to go to Chicago. They have got a lead for you. According to the reports that they have, there was a stone.
Yep.
And a day later, you get a message saying go to the Lock 'em Up self-storage facility at 3306 North Kedzie Avenue. There is a locker there under Sarah Garrison's name.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2 of you get to go there.
Yep.
Third rental car in as many days.
So you fly up to Chicago.
Yep.
You rent 1 car. And let's see here. You get there. I assume you go straight there from the airport.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Right, there's a clerk there. Larry. Says, hello. Do you want to open up a unit?
They gave us the number of the unit, correct?
No, they did not.
Oh.
They only know that she had a unit there.
Oh, okay.
Seats.
I'll show him credentials.
Okay.
Cover my name if I can, like just sort of flash him
Yeah.
the badge. He doesn't get paid enough to pay too much attention anyway.
He says, yeah, sure, whatever you want. You both recognize him as an ex-con by the tattoo under his sleeve. He definitely doesn't want any trouble with the federal authorities.
I'll say you should have a unit registered to Sarah Garrison.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, he's Unit 31. He goes there.
Before he does that, I'll just say, has anyone been in or out of that unit in the last couple of days?
Yeah. Well, Sarah, I remember. Yeah, no, she's kind of a cat lady type.
Yeah, pretty memorable.
Yeah, she comes in almost every night.
Okay. Nobody else, though, eh?
No, it's only in her name.
Okay. All right. Oh, hey, what time of day is it?
It's daytime.
Okay, good. All right. Well, let's show us the way, man.
Okay. All right. So there he gets you to Unit 31. So he pushes the button, opens it up. You both smell urine. Just an ammonia smell as you see a filthy sleeping bag and a bucket filled with urine in the corner, cut with industrial cleaner. But then there is the floating stone in the center of the room. Waist-high, polished blob of obsidian stone that is completely dark. It just seems to absorb light into it. So
Cracking glow stick.
The Larry is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Holy shit! This is, look at it. It's floating. What the fuck is that, man?
That's it's not what you think it is. Here, come on. Well, let's have a little talk. I'll walk him away. Cornwell, figure something out.
Yeah.
All right, Cornwell, it's your show. There's a very large floating stone, appears to be obsidian of utter blackness.
I'll throw a glow stick at it.
It bounces off and falls to the ground. The glow stick.
Yeah, just much. I'll make another glow stick. I'll enter the thing.
You
enter
entered
the storage shed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Is it like, okay, how big is the storage unit?
It's like a 10 by 10 foot room at least. So
Okay, so I can walk around with the glowing orb of
yes, you can.
nothingness?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's stone.
Okay,
it's a black stone.
Circle it a few times. Is there anything besides the ratty sleeping bag and the shit pit?
Nope.
Okay, so she was living here with the dangerous artifact of do not touch. Always a great sign.
Possibly.
She was her daughter's imaginary friend.
She spent time there.
I'm not gonna touch it with my hands, but can it be moved? Do I think it's floating in
How?
nothingness?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Okay, is it like you said? It's floating. Is it off the ground?
Yes, that's what floating
Floating in
means.
the air. Okay, just checking. I didn't know if it was okay.
Yeah.
So can we cut away from Cornwall for a second while he's thinking?
Do so.
Sure.
Okay. With Larry, I'm reading him basically the Homeland Security Act.
Okay.
It's a highly toxic. There's a highly toxic substance present in there. Sarah Garrison was connected to it.
All right.
Basically, give him the whole like. Not only are you probably already crazy, but if you ever say anything about this, everyone will know you're crazy, and I'll make you disappear.
Okay, that would be a persuade check. What's your persuade at?
80.
All right. Yeah, man. Yeah. What if you say? Just get it the fuck out of here.
Now, and that's the other thing I'm going to say. Well, Larry,
wait,
Larry,
yeah.
we're here to clean up after her because what she's left behind is very dangerous. But I do need some materials. So what you're going to do is you're going to flip the close sign and take a little break.
Yeah.
Now, do you have security cameras here?
Yeah.
Can you turn them off?
Yeah, they're right here. See,
I think that's a great idea. Why don't you do that?
Okay.
I haven't touched anything in this office.
Look, I want to cooperate, man. I'm a good citizen. I turn my life around.
I know
here's my
you
full
do.
name. If you could put a word in to the parole board to let them know that I'm a good citizen, that I'm not going to do anything bad.
Larry,
I'm here. I'm an American. I believe in what you guys are doing. I think you're doing a great service for this country, man. Please.
You know what, Larry? I believe you. I really do.
Okay.
And that's why you're going to stay in this office. And we're just gonna.
Okay.
While I'm doing this, I'm going to say you're going to disconnect those cameras there.
Yeah, he turns them off.
Yeah. No, like unplug the actual computer.
I don't. Okay. I guess. No. All right.
Larry, I'll make everything okay with your boss. But this needs to be done.
All right.
I'll text the program that we have the stone.
Okay.
And working on figuring out how to retrieve it, but they should probably send someone who can contain it.
You are the containment. Assess and deal with it.
We will move it to the thing next door.
Yeah, and with that, I imagine he's got industrial garbage bags, etc.
Sure.
I was going to throw the sleeping bag over it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And then try and push it.
I'm going to go to the trunk and grab the ubiquitous latex gloves. I'm going to double glove. I'm going to bring Cornwall a couple pairs of gloves. And if Cornwall can move it by himself, I'm just going to keep an eye on Larry.
Okay.
I push it. Do I have strange visions from beyond space?
Actually, get sucked
I guess
into
you have to be able to move it around without activating. Yeah, if you're taking precautions, where are you moving it to?
The trunk for now, I guess, under the sleeping bag.
Once you kind of move it, it falls to the ground, and it's kind of there. You realize it weighs 300. It must weigh hundreds of pounds.
Damn it!
You'll need a.
Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say they've got pallet jacks. It's a story.
They do pallet jacks.
So.
All right.
It dented the floor. Larry's going to have to explain that.
I hate to make you do all the labor there, Cornwall, but I'm keeping an eye on Larry.
All right, so since you're not touching, you made a point that you're not touching it with flesh to stone. All right, so what is your assessment? What are you going to do with the stone? Are you just going to move it to another storage facility and tell Delta Green to deal with it?
Do we know about the crematorium?
If you can tell them to take it. If you're telling them to store it, they tell you to take it to a crematorium.
Yeah, that's like we'll say like stone controlled location ? If they tell us the crematorium, then that's where we'll take it.
All right.
I will also let the program know about Larry. And basically say like unreliable witness, ex-con, brief glimpse of stone, convinced it's a national security matter.
You get a
recommendation
10 minutes later. You get a report back. You get a message back. It's Larry Martinez's personal file. There is a personal note saying Larry lives alone.
Oh.
Deal with it.
Done.
Fine.
Okay.
Cameras
Larry gets a trip to the crematorium.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to say, Larry.
Yeah.
We are going to need you to come with us.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So how are you going to kill him?
Cornwell's going to drive. We're in the rental car, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cornwell's going to drive. We are going to get out. Larry and I are going to get out and take a walk a few blocks away from the crematorium because it's like on the edge of Chicago. It's a pretty abandoned area.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to say, okay, we've set up a meeting. One of my superiors needs to debrief you. I will point Larry to a doorway on an abandoned building. When we walk through the doorway, I will go for the sweet spot. Drive the knife in between his third and fourth ribs on the left-hand side. Go for the heart.
All right. You only lose 1 sanity from violence.
Gordon's apparently a cold son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right.
So,
Do you need to roll for Cornwell as well?
you actually hear a voice
Witnessing
coming
it?
up from the basement
Oh.
of that house, and he says, "It's like an old horse voice. It just comes up. You can leave it here."
Sure, strange voice in the darkness.
Gordon, who was still wearing the whole double latex glove thing, wipes the knife on Larry, tosses it down the hallway since it like cleans it.
Yeah.
Tosses it down the hallway, tucks the gloves into a plastic bag in his pocket, and doesn't say a word. He just walks back out to the car and lights up a cigarette.
All right.
Refuses to speak.
You hear dragging sounds. You then get the two of you get the stone into the crematorium. You hear the same voice. It says, "Leave it here. Leave it there." Yeah, the two of you just get the fuck out.
Yep.
Enjoy dinner.
All right, so that is sweetness. So
Well, not bad.
yeah,
50%.
I just before the contact with Garrison, I twigged that she was probably what the connection was.
Yeah.
Because what parent doesn't want to watch over their children, right?
But you basically warned her, gave her a prime opportunity to ambush you. And then you walked into the ambush.
Yep. Oh yeah. It was not unfair.
Yeah. And I mean, the other group, to let you know, the other RPPR group did not. They did a little better, but they also kind of walked into Garrison. They didn't twig on that until she was,
like shooting at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the call with the case file, right? But
yeah.
That was
the
something
case file I added onto
do.
that. That's actually my addition. So that's not in the written scenario. I added that on there. But it's kind of implied by the text of it. If you had touched the stone, you would have gone into the Shadow Man entity. And you could have piloted it around.
Oh yeah, that can't go wrong.
No. You can destroy the stone if you just hit it with a sledgehammer, break it. And yeah, if you'd failed that power check when it touched you, it would have just
eaten me.
You just would have gone. You just would have disappeared.
Just would have been gone. It is a Debt Willer scenario. There has to be at least one possibility for instant death.
Yeah, honestly, Garrison's dangerous, but you guys just gave her all the advantages to make her more dangerous. But yeah.
Well, it was funny because I was really divided on the going to Chicago thing because I was thinking that we could use a one-time email to all of hers and just say, look, your kids are at risk. We need to talk. Meet us in Tampa.
Yeah.
And then see what happened from there.
Oh, then she would have sent the Shadow Man after you. I'll meet you in Tampa. Where should we meet?
Yeah. Yeah, but that would have at least then.
Night is good for me.
If we survived the Shadow Man, then we would know for sure it was her.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
And what could possibly go wrong with that?
And what could possibly go wrong?
She moves Shadow Man to Chicago.
If you had not contacted her and just trying to find out where she was, you could have found her. She did have an apartment where she had a map Like she had to once she left piloted the Shadow Man for the first time, it just comes out of the stone. So she had to pilot the Shadow Man all the way from Chicago to Tampa,
which is why she's bugfuck crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and well, she went bugfuck crazy from being a Delta Green agent for a year.
Yeah, that'll do it too.
So, yeah, I mean, but you got the vector. That's the important thing.
Well, we got the vector. We didn't blow our cover. OPSEC wise, we've got a retired Oni guy and CIA spook. So, yeah, so the CIA will clean up that mess. The program doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, that won't be awkward.
Yeah, but it's awkward.
Historian in the hood.
It's awkward. It's awkward for the CIA. It's not awkward for the program.
That's fair. So, question, comments, and suggestions. You guys like it? Too hard? Too fun? Yeah.
It's good.
It's a good scenario. Yeah. That's.
Okay. It's definitely kind of it's an investigator scenario that requires a very it's definitely not a basic intro scenario. It's definitely you have to really what is the connection here, because it's not the clues aren't really handed to you on a silver spoon.
Yeah, no, I think because the connection to the mother became apparent through play. We didn't necessarily need the case file to figure it out, but I think it was a good add to help cement that connection. Especially if you want to keep if you want to run it as a 2-night scenario, like a 5 or 6 hour scenario, then sure, the players can sort of wander around a lot. But if you want to tighten it up, that case file makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a first draft of the scenario. I think Dennis has not playtested this very much. I actually emailed him about this after the first time I ran, and he gave me some more ideas about that. So, but yeah, it's definitely I really like the idea, and it's definitely kind of fun to see players what the fuck is going on here?
No, absolutely. I love that Tim took the time to actually text us that Chicago had the vector.
Yeah, that was
rather than letting them die and kind of leaving us bone.
Yeah, let's call up Sarah. Maybe she knows, and
yeah, and they get eaten again. That's the other thing too, right? You have to fight so hard not to player hive mind.
Yeah,
especially in DG.
What's really the thing is, you actually save from the worst ending. The worst ending is Sarah is eventually going to go totally crazy, and she's just going to be totally consumed by the Shadow Man, and then the Shadow Man's just going to kill the entire Bernier family.
It's just going to eat the family and then go from there. Yeah, that was and the other thing I like about this is it does prevent the bloodthirsty Delta Green solution.
Yeah,
because if you kill the family.
Yeah, it hasn't solved the problem.
Kill the family and burn the house, then you're gonna get eaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, now you've just made her mad.
Yeah, it's just gonna there's gonna be a lot of disappearances in Tampa.
Starting with the team and then going from there.
Yeah.
In the beginning, when Gordon first got touched, would she have continued to touch him when he didn't immediately disappear? Was there a point in me being an idiot?
No. Well, once she realized there were multiple people there, she was like, "Oh, I better kill all those guys first." She's gonna just run around trying to touch everybody, kill everyone.
Yeah, and with it being a POW check or die.
It's an opposed power check, so it's fighting back. But if you fail one check, you're gone. So it's.
So I got extraordinarily lucky.
She rolled a 93 on her power check, so she failed. Just failed it. You succeeded at yours. So it's pretty dicey. But the entity's transcendent. It's totally immune to physical damage. So
and meat.
I did not think this was a shoot it till it goes away kind of scenario.
It can be damage. It actually, but I'm not sure how you could figure it out in the scenario. But that'll be added in there. But if you say Yog-Sothoth to it, because it's actually connected to Yog-Sothoth.
Oh, we could have done it with Unnatural. We could have figured it out that way.
Oh yeah, Unnatural would have totally figured it out.
But that only becomes a solution in a fairly long-term game, right? You're probably not starting off with.
There's nothing written in the scenario to tell you say Yog-Sothoth to it.
I suppose
metal game it when you said it was Yog Sauce in the beginning was connected to the cult, but
again, if you were running it in a longer version, if the players wanted to pursue researchers on the whitelist, that would be a way to provide that as a clue.
Yeah, and that was my addition to the whole thing. So, but anyways, I will send this to. I'll actually send a link to Dennis so he can take a listen to it if he wants to. But anyways, hope you all had fun. Enjoy
Yeah,
this
no, it was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Thanks.
blessed.
All
Thank you.
righty. We'll talk to you guys next time.
All right, have a good one.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah.